strict rules of evidence, so we do accept emails, texts. If you would like to review the proceedings, once the live stream is up, you'll be able to do that at your leisure on the town's website. All right? However, we cannot call the cases because there is no live stream. Apologize for that. What's up, Patrick? Did the pledge.
Mr. Chairman, we do not have any applications for adjournment for this morning. Is there anybody here that is looking for an adjournment?
Which case, sir? Could you please come forward and speak into the microphone?
164 Harrison Avenue.
Oh, good. Okay.
Your name and address for the record, and speak loudly into the microphone, please.
Okay, my name is Wilbur Argueta. Address 164 Harrison Avenue, Franklin Square.
And what is your relationship to the applicant?
I want to adjourn this because my lawyer is Mr. Gamoka, and he have a death in the family, so he cannot assist him today.
Are you the person who brought the case?
No.
I'm the owner.
You're the owner of the house?
Yes,
And you have a lawyer?
yes.
Who's your lawyer?
Mr. Gamoka, Chris Gamoka.
Are you potential objectants?
Just
Okay. Are you Ileana Carrillo? Okay. So you're requesting an adjournment because Mr. Gamoka had a death in the family, is
Right.
that correct? And this
Yes.
is the first time on?
Right.
Ordinarily, we would, the protocol that we normally follow is, if it's first time on, ma'am, we grant the adjournment, especially in light of the fact that he's given us substantial evidence that, and I know of my own knowledge, I happen to know Mr. Gamoka, and I know he had a death in the family, so. I understand that. Yeah. Well, I understand that, but the circumstances are such that in the normal course of events, we would grant an adjournment first time on anyway. We will give as short an adjournment as we can. No, we can't.
We can't,
Can't.
because that would be,
Prejudging.
due process,
Yeah,
basically, for lack of a better way to say it.
What is the first date, Patrick?
Listen, this is an outdoor fireplace, right? This is an outdoor fireplace? Okay, but I'm assuming, okay, I just was trying to get a read on if it's even being used now that it's cold out, so, okay. I got it.
So we're going to put the case on. We have a meeting next week on the 13th. We're going to give you a short adjournment, sir, And we're going to put the case on for 11 a.m. on the 13th of December.
That'll save you waiting from 9:30 to 11.
Right. Okay?
11 o'clock.
11 o'clock.
There will be no further notices, so if there's anyone else you know who was here and left or whatever, you know.
Your
Well,
call.
there's just not, yeah, it's just, I just wanted to say that there's not going to be another mailing that will go out, for example, so. And you notify your attorney?
Yes.
Okay.
If I may, you folks had mentioned that there's other structures on the property. What is going to be before the board on next week is simply this particular case. Not other stuff. That's,
Yeah, okay. That's why we put it on for a week from now. All right? Okay, you're on foot. Remind Mr. Gamoka that he's got to be here next week, 11 o'clock.
Christine?
Okay, 11 o'clock at the
11 o'clock. All right?
Thank you.
you're welcome. You be here, tell your lawyer, and you be here next week at 11 o'clock. Okay? Do you have any other questions, you could call the office and
Okay.
they'll help you.
Okay?
You're welcome.
Good morning. First case, 735-23, Merrick, Joshua Hadatanzer, variance rear yard, constructs second-story addition attached to dwelling, also known as 2854 Frankel Boulevard.
Hi, good morning. Can you hear me? Blue? Testing, testing. Morning, William J. Cohen, AIA. I'm the architect of record for the project. Our office is located at 5512 Merrick Road, Massapequa. I also have the homeowner, Mr. Hadatanzer, with us as well.
Morning.
Morning.
You're here for a rear yard variance request to construct a second floor addition to the structure.
Correct.
What portion of the addition is outside the footprint, if any?
Sure, so right now, this is a fairly standard split-level ranch. It has an existing rear, or actually, I should say side entry, but rear-facing attached garage that we are looking to add a master suite on top of. I believe the code in the B district, it's 15 feet on the first floor as far as the setback, which we're currently at just over 20 feet. We're looking to encroach, with the second floor, I understand you have to be 25 feet off the rear,
Yeah, which portion, if any?
the rear
of the-
setback line.
Which portion, if any, of the proposed structure is outside the existing footprint? None?
2 foot
Is that a cantilever?
cantilever, that's
Okay,
correct.
other than that, it's within the, it's,
It's within the total footprint, yes.
That explains all.
and the proposed rear yard setback, 25 is required on the second floor, and you propose what?
We're proposing, sorry, 20.17.
And that's the only relief you're requesting?
That's the only relief we're requesting. We comply with everything else as far as setbacks and coverages.
It says 25. It says
The
25.
plot plan says 25.
I'm sorry?
The plot plan.
plan shows 25 feet, a rear yard setback.
Yeah, even on your graph, your key, you have to correct that.
Is it 20 or is it 25?
I don't know if you have the latest and greatest, actually, since this was resubmitted several times.
What's the date on the one you have in your hand?
I'm sorry? No, it's fine. This is dated,
There's no
the
date.
latest is dated January 19th of '23.
He's got it.
We don't even have, mine's not even dated.
Oh, this is one. hold on a second.
I don't think so. Oh, yeah, April 20th.
Different from over here.
Yours is
Do you have a
dated
copy? Oh, sorry.
April 20th, 2021.
That was the original, probably.
Yeah, do you have a copy for our file so we can?
You can take this one.
One family dwelling, two-car garage.
It doesn't have the, wait, it doesn't have the.
Like I said, this was resubmitted several times, so this is the latest one. Thank you. Yes. I haven't expedited it, but it was done. Oh, it was more than that. It was done quite a long time ago.
In the real world, outside of town.
Yeah, I'd cross it off. Sure. Sorry about that.
Is there anything else you'd like to add, sir?
No, that's it. I'm just looking for relief, that's all on that one issue.
Discussion from the board, if not, go ahead and motion.
Move that the hearing be closed, the matter be placed on the decision calendar. Mr. Cohen, you and your client will both be notified by mail of the board's decision once it's ready. Thank you, and have
I
a nice day.
also have consent letters, by the way. Sign
Mr.
up.
Chairman, I withdraw my motion. Would you like to move those into evidence?
I'd like to submit this, yes, thank you.
Okay, I now renew my motion, Mr. Chairman, that we close the hearing, and you'll both be notified by mail of the board's decision once it's rendered. Thank you, have a nice day.
Appreciate it.
Thank you.
Our next case is 73623 Merrick, Kerry Crimmins, maintained 4-foot-high fence forward of dwelling, which may substantially obstruct line of sight, also known as 1308 Taft Avenue.
Terry Crimmins. I live at 1308 Taft Avenue in Merrick. I'm Terry Crimmins. I live at 1308 Taft Avenue in Merrick.
Would you like, also, give your
Oh,
name
I'm Carrie's wife. I'm Helene Singer Crimmins, and I live with Carrie.
You're here for a 4-foot fence forward of the dwelling. You're here because you are requesting to have a 4-foot fence forward of your dwelling, which may obstruct the line of sight, correct?
Yes.
Yes.
I'm looking at the site plan, and I see on the north side of your property, there is the neighbor's fence that appears to run the entire length of the property line you share with the neighbor. Is that
Yes.
correct? Then I see on the rear property line, the same scenario, the neighbor's
Yes.
fence. Then I see on your southern property line, a fence that is not marked as the neighbor's, but it claims to be a 6-foot fence. I don't see anywhere where it tells me it's 4 feet. Can you just tell me where the 4-foot section is?
So the 4-foot section is on the right side, the south side of the street.
South side of the property?
Yes.
Okay, but I don't know what part. It's all marked as a 6-foot fence here. I don't know if it's partially 6 and partially 4. I don't know where.
So it was a 6-foot fence
Oh,
that was cut down because they said it had to be 3 feet.
okay, so it's
we-
the section,
From the house.
Forward.
On the south side, forward to the street.
It was cut down to 4 foot.
where is your neighbor's driveway? The neighbor that's,
Literally on the other side of that section.
6 inches.
and where's your driveway?
Our driveway is on the other side of the house,
We have a walkway.
but we have a walkway on the side of the fence in question, by the neighbor's driveway, because
So-
we have a handicapped daughter. So it all started with, we put the fence up to protect the daughter with the construction next door, and it was 6 feet. So then we understood that that wasn't okay, so we cut it down to meet the code. So now they're saying that. So we're seeking the survey and the variance for that fence.
When did you cut it down to 4 feet?
Years ago,
Before the
years.
rule changed?
years ago.
Like, what was it, like in 8, 9, 08, 09? Because the rule used to be, if I'm hearing you correctly, it was a 6-foot fence. You came to know that it was not lawful to have that. So you
Yes.
cut it to 4. At that time, someone
Yeah.
told you you have to cut it to 4.
Yes.
Because that used to be a legal fence as of
Yes.
right. And it's been there for this length of time.
Yes. This is like dragged on for so many years. And we've tried to do what we can to protect our family as well as be to code. We just don't know what else we can do.
Give us a second. No, this is. No, that's the neighbor's.
Did you submit photographs of the?
Yes,
You did?
yes. And my husband actually took one before we left, just in case you needed a point of reference. So we have a photograph we can show you.
Would you like to submit that in evidence, or has that been? It's on your phone.
Oh, well, they are online.
The neighbor's driveway, your
Yeah.
neighbor to the south, we're trying to look at it on Google and all of them.
No photos.
That neighbor's driveway is on the other side of their property.
Is on the other side of our fence. It's literally,
On the south side of our house, we have a 5-foot walkway. On the other side.
There's a
is-
driveway.
Is a
Oh,
driveway.
it's not on the other side of their property.
no, it's,
So there's actually six inches that we were able to put up a fence to borderline our walkway and the driveway.
Let's not belabor the point. Katura?
so imagine, I have a handicapped child who comes down the walkway and their driveway is on her walkway.
And here is,
No.
Okay.
CS, who's that?
Do I have any other questions from the board? If not, do I have a motion?
Mr. Chairman, I would move that the hearing be closed and the matter be placed on the decision calendar. You will both be notified by mail of the board's decision once it's rendered. Some cases, we do inspections, we stay outside, we don't let you know we're coming. One or more of the board members may come out and take a look at it so we can assess you know, if there are any safety issues related to the vehicle, you know, the driveways and being able to pull out with visibility of oncoming traffic and pedestrians.
May I just say one thing?
One moment. Mr. Chairman, I withdraw my motion.
Good. Withdrawn. Yes, ma'am.
We're not sure which complaint there was, because what we found after the summons was the fence that we had, the outstanding, in other words, the fence that I've been speaking of is the issue for us. But what we learned was the complaint, the summons was given to a fence on the north side that is not our fence.
Hold on. Did you get a summons?
I did, I don't have that summons.
No,
We don't
did you
have-
get a summons, or did you get a notice of potential violation? Do you have a court date?
No,
Okay, you got a notice of potential violation.
okay,
Mr. Chairman, is that all?
that's it.
Okay, Mr. Chairman, I again move that the hearing be closed, the matter be placed on the decision calendar. You'll both be notified by mail of the board's decision once it's ready.
Second. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed, any abstentions?
Thank you.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Next case, 6-foot-high pool enclosure.
Our next case is 73723, near Valley Stream, Mahesh Prasad, maintain 6-foot-high pool enclosure forward of dwelling on Downing Road, also known as 932 Donald Place. Do you swear or affirm to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God? Please be seated, state your name and address for the record.
Good morning, Mahesh
Morning.
Prasad, 932 Donald Place, Valley Stream, New York, 11580.
Morning. So you're here to maintain a 6-foot-high pool enclosure forward of the dwelling. Is that right?
Correct.
You submitted some photographs. Go ahead. A peek.
So I just want to make sure I understand which part is. So you have, on what you consider the front of your house, right? You have a
Correct.
piece of 4-foot fence, it appears.
It's actually 6.
Pardon me?
6.
Oh, it's 4 feet, 4 inches linear feet. Okay, so it goes 6 out to property line, which is, so the whole thing is 6, right? All right, so it goes. Why is it considered forward? Is your property considered a corner property?
Yeah, it's on one of those irregular shaped plots, so it doesn't really exceed
is
the
where
front of
his
the property line, but on
Fence
book it
is,
does.
but because he's got this thing, it's somehow, hold on. Okay, you
Is
want
that-
to tell us why you need the fence, besides to enclose the pool?
I got 2 kids, and it provides safe space for them to play as well as the puppy. Without the fence being there, there's very limited backyard space. There's adequate, I believe there's no safety concern. There's adequate line of sight for the
Yeah,
neighbor
it
to go in.
doesn't
and-
affect the visibility,
Yeah,
it's just a
not
unique
even
situation with characterization of property. Anything else?
I also have some letters from my neighbors saying that they have no
You'd like to
no
submit
safety
those in
concern that I would like
evidence?
to submit.
Like, submit them in evidence, we'll take them.
I also have another photo, I'm not sure if you have this photo of the actual fence.
We have quite a few.
Would you
show-
like to submit it in?
Submit it.
Yes.
Thank you, we'll take it into evidence.
Is that all?
Anything
Yes.
else? Any questions from the board?
Mr. Chairman, I would just move that the hearing be closed, the matter be placed on the decision calendar. Sir, you'll be notified by mail of the board's decision once it's ready.
Thank you.
Thank you.
All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed, any abstentions?
Thank you.
Thank you. Have a nice day.
Next case is 73823 to 73923 North Belmore. Camille Shalara,
Thank you.
variance, rear yard, maintain addition attached to dwelling. Variance, side yard, maintain second floor wood deck with stairs attached to dwelling, also known as 2869 Beltog Avenue. State your name and address for the record.
Camille Shalera. Address? 2869 Belta Avenue, North Belmore.
Good morning, Chairman, members of the board. Richard M. Bavone, 308 East Meadow Avenue. East Meadow appearing as the agent for the owner, seated to the left of me, 2869 Beltog Avenue, Camille Shalera. We have two
Ms.
cases.
Shalera, relax. It's easy, and he knows what he's doing. She's petrified.
Don't be.
I told her to smile and
Yeah,
take
she
a...
can't.
I may take issue with your statement about Mr. Pavone knowing what he's doing, but
Respectfully, requesting both cases heard as one.
So moved.
so move.
The original dwelling is a non-conforming, one-family dwelling. It was built in approximately 1913. Over the years, additions have changes made to the dwelling by prior owners of this property. My client purchased this property in 1977 with her then-husband. In 1985, they were divorced, and in the settlement in 1991, she had the house transferred in her name. So since that time, she's had the house. In 1999, she had a violation that was issued on conditions that were there existing, and that violation was for the side, I think the side entrance and also the rear deck. But those were never, they were about to be filed. She has applications, she actually has the original applications. She was dealing with Inspector Capelli at the time, and she couldn't afford to do it, and the case just lay dormant. Now, recently, we filed for the non-conforming dwelling and then all of the existing conditions at the property the way they exist today. And the goal is for Mrs. Shalera to sell this property. It is a one-family dwelling. The variances consist of the west side 4 by 11'6", one-story addition, which is off the dining room area, and that's just an addition that's been there. And actually, if you look at the '77 survey, when they purchased the house, it was actually there. The other variance is for the north side, steps and deck going to the second floor. And those are minor variances that, because of the way the house is situated, the rear yard is considered the west side, side yard would be considered the north side because of the way the odd shape of the property and also the nonconformity of the house when it was constructed back in 1913. I submitted 3 letters of no objection from the abutting neighbors plus the neighbor across the street from the property. The existing conditions are well maintained. The goal here again is to place the house on the market and sell this property.
Can you just
We
give
are
us the numbers, Mr. Pavone, for the record, the rear yard, side yard required and provided?
Yes, so you have the west side yard variance. We maintain a setback of 9.8, which is the odd, as you can see from the site plan we submitted, the odd shape of the property line. And it's actually a 15-foot required or permitted encroachment into that rear yard, and that's a 5.2-foot difference. Then the second variance on the north side deck and stairs that maintain setbacks of 4.8 feet, 3.16 feet, and 2.43 feet to the closest portion of the corner of the deck and the stairs. So it's not the entire structure. They're just encroachments to the way the house is situated and the way the stairs go up to the area.
And that's what they're calling side yard, right?
That's
Just to
considered
use
the
the
side
term,
yard,
yeah.
yeah, that is correct. We are respectfully requesting an approval of the existing conditions the way they are, maintaining a one-family dwelling.
Any other questions from the board?
I would move that the hearing be closed, the matter be placed on the decision calendar. Mr. Pavone, you and your client will receive a copy of the board's decision by mail once it is rendered. Thank you, have a nice day.
Thank you very much and
See how
have a great
painless
day.
it
All
was?
in favor? Opposed?
Have a nice day.
Abstentions? Have a good day.
Next case, 74023 West Hempstead, David and Pauline Montegari, variance side yard, installed 2 AC units attached to dwelling, also known as 514 Harding Avenue. Do you swear or affirm to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God? Please be seated, state your name and address for the record.
David Montegari, 514 Harding Avenue, West Hempstead.
Good morning.
Good morning.
You're here for a request for a, let's see, side yard variance, so you can install 2 air conditioning units.
Correct.
And what is required and what do you propose?
What is my what?
I'm sorry, my voice doesn't carry. What is required of a side yard setback, and what do you propose with
Well,
the?
it's a 5-foot setback. The 2 condensers are, say, 3 feet, and there'd be still a 2-foot offset to the property line.
So instead of maintaining 5, you wish to maintain 2 in this small area where you wish
Correct.
to install the 2 AC units? And you are here for no other variances, right?
No.
Is there anyone else in that case?
Any other questions from the board? If not, do I have a motion?
Move the hearing be closed, the matter be placed on the decision calendar. You'll be notified by mail of the board's decision once it's rendered. Thank you, have a nice day.
All in favor? Any opposed? Any abstentions?
Next case is 74123 East Meadow, Carlos Cunha, variances, lot area occupied, side yard, sides yard aggregate, maintained cellar entrance, front portico, and roof over, all attached to dwelling, also known as 2493 7th Avenue. Do you swear or affirm to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God? I do. Please be seated, state your name and address for the record.
Tina Pangallo, 549 Hempstead Turnpike, West Hempstead, New York, 11552. Good morning, Chairman, members of the board. I'm representing Carlos Cunha of 2493 7th Avenue in East Meadow. The property is located on the north side of 7th Avenue, 140 feet west of Stanley Road in Residence B. We're requesting variances to maintain a cellar entrance, a front portico, and a roof over patio, all attached to the dwelling. The structures violate the lot coverage allowed of 27.5%. The lot coverages provided are 37.26%. The cellar entrance violates the side yard setback required of 5 feet. The side yard provided is 2.5 feet. The side yard aggregate required is 15 feet, and the aggregate provided is 12.3 feet. The basement is finished with 1 large recreation room and a boiler room, and there is a bathroom, but it is only a 2-piece bathroom. This was existing when Mr. Cunha purchased the home in 2012. There is a survey from 1975 showing the cellar entrance and the rear roof over the patio. That was given to him when he purchased the house, so he thought everything was okay. The rear roof over the patio violates the lot coverage allowed of 27.5%, which 37.26 is provided. Also, the front portico violates the lot coverage. As far as we know, there have been no complaints from the neighbors. The house closed and $25,000 is being held in escrow. The dormer and the fence permits have been closed out. They may still be showing as open on your search. And we're respectfully asking the board to grant these variances.
Ms. Pangallo, have you been in the basement yourself?
Yes.
And was there once a kitchen in there?
No, not from when we were there. And the building inspector was there recently to close out the second floor, so he went through the whole house as well. And it's only a 2-piece bathroom there.
And
No, that's part of this application. For a finished basement with a bathroom and outside entrance.
I have maintained cellar entrance, front portico, and roof over.
Well, that's what we need the variance for, but the basement, it's maintained finished basement with bath and exterior stairs, front portico, and rear roof over.
Yeah, I just don't have the maintained finished. I'll check with those.
Okay.
You know, because we're just being asked if the encroachment for the cellar is acceptable, basically. So, I don't know, usually I don't feel like I'm passing on whether or not they should be allowed to have a bathroom down there. Do you understand what I'm saying? Like, that's a different matter.
Right.
Maybe the building department just didn't send it to us because they opined on it. Was it your understanding we would be passing on whether or not you could have a bathroom down there?
No, I thought that was an as-of-right application.
That's what I'm saying.
Right, yes,
Yeah, the bathroom's not before us.
right.
Okay, good.
And it is a two-piece, so as far as renting goes, you know, it's not a three-piece bath,
So
if
you
that
did
helps.
apply- You applied to legalize that bathroom,
Correct.
and they didn't send you, so I think that makes the most sense.
Any other questions from the board?
Move the hearing be closed, the matter be placed on the decision calendar. Ms. Pengallo, you'll be notified by mail of the board's decision once it's rendered. As you know, some cases
Thank you very
are
much.
decided, so- Aye.
Next case, 74223 Seaford. Linda Telford, maintain 4-foot-high fence located within the clear sight triangle, also known as 2180 Seaford Avenue. Do you swear or affirm to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God? Please be seated. State your name and address for the record.
Linda Telford, 2180 Seaford Avenue, Seaford.
We couldn't hear a word you said, and she
Oh.
has to take it down, so as loudly as you can, name and address,
Okay.
please.
Linda Telford, 2180 Seaford Avenue, Seaford, New York.
Good morning.
Good morning, I'm Michael Degnan, architect, office at 1943 Wantor Avenue, Wantor, New York.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Here for,
Oh,
Yes, Linda's daughter and son-in-law are also here in the back of the room.
okay. All right, you're here because you, 4-foot-high fence in the clear sight triangle, correct?
Yes, so technically it's a 42-inch high fence, and I have photographs of the existing conditions I could submit as exhibits A, B, and C. That's it, yes, sir. I have others if some additional clarity would be necessary.
Can you tell us why you need to have I'm sure you're aware the clear sight triangle issue relates to visibility and safety in part for pedestrians and other vehicles and the applicant, so that, you know, pulling in and out of a driveway, for example, and/or intersections, all of the above, are, there's visibility for the safety of all involved. So,
Absolutely.
it's an aberration for us to grant, it's one of the more concerning things that we have to look at to make sure that we're not setting up a scenario where someone's gonna get hit by a car, or two cars are gonna,
Well, that's-
whatever it is. So tell us why, what the necessity is for the fence in the clear sight triangle.
Very good. So, first of all, Linda has owned the house since 1984.
Okay,
And there has been a fence in this location, maybe not in its current form, it's changed over the decades, but the corner fence has always been there. And she's reported to me that there's never been an incident of any traffic or any sort of cause of harm due to anybody because as the fence existed there.
can I ask you, I'm sorry, along Verona Place, there's the 42-inch in the clear sight triangle, which goes down to where it cuts back with a gate, but then there appears to be a 6-foot fence along Verona between the area where it cuts back toward the house and where what looks like a walkway is?
Yeah,
Does
maybe I
that
could.
6-foot fence have a permit?
Yes, so let me, if I can back up a little bit. We were here in June with Mrs. Telford and her family for a mother-daughter variance while we were pursuing the mother-daughter variance, the zoning board noted that there was a shed and a fence that needed to be permitted as well, which we applied for at that time. Due to administrative reasons, we don't know why, because it was actually the folks at the zoning board told us we needed the variance for the fence at that time. It did not end up on the description of things to be approved back in our June case, and I can provide, that was case number 425 on June 28th.
Wait, 425 of,
Case number 425, and the date was June 28th, 2023.
was the case number 42523?
Yes.
Okay.
And
And wait, so you came? Do it again.
Okay, so we
What were you here for when we discovered the fence and the shed?
no, yeah,
In
we,
May, we got the permits ready. In early May, the permits were paid for, and then we came at the end of June for the mother-daughter variance hearing here, and we thought the fence and the shed would be included while we were here.
Okay, so let me back up. So you put in an application to get a mother-daughter approved.
Right.
And you put in an application for a fence, 6-foot fence forward of the dwelling, and for the shed. Is that so far correct?
yes, but the shed was not a zoning issue, that was a building permit
Okay, but
issue.
let's just go with
Yes.
it. So you put in those 3 applications, and the shed was dealt with in the building department,
Correct,
and you were under the understanding you were coming here for the mother-daughter and the fence.
Right.
correct.
When you came here, you discovered the fence was not on the calendar.
When we discovered, it was the building inspector who later came and during the final building inspection process, they're like, hey, there was no decision on the fence. So that's when.
Oh, so you didn't even realize when you were here that it was not on your calendar?
Right.
Exactly.
Okay.
We knew we applied for it, but due to administrative, human or whatever, it wasn't on the fence was not on the calendar on that date.
So has the fence ever been addressed, the 6-foot fence?
I assume so. It's not raised in any issue, so no. I mean, I think because it's a corner lot, it may be permitted. It was never raised as part of the zoning board issue. I mean, with the shed and the fence never came up.
There's been a 6-foot fence there for at least 40 years.
Add on the current case?
Well, if the answer should be no, it's no, but I can, provide additional.
I would like to know a little bit more about how easily one sees. I see that it's noted as a slotted fence.
Yeah, did you see the photographs that I submitted?
I didn't. Is that one? Oh, I'm sorry. Here's one here.
It's very wide slots, and all our neighbors that got notices, they all said, what are they talking about? We never had a problem with that fence.
You can see right through the fence. It's a slotted fence.
You can see through it.
Yeah.
There's no obstruction for pedestrians or cars.
Once you look at the photos.
I know. Here's what I'm trying to emphasize.
What are you trying to emphasize? That side is the fence over here. That's the 6-foot high fence. Yeah, not on this.
Again, yeah.
That's the one.
Oh, thank you, Joanne.
Okay.
Okay.
Any other
If
questions?
the board were inclined to approve this 4-foot fence request, I assume you would accept a condition that it always be maintained in this open, in this style. It can't, and usually often some concern is you sell your house and the new person says, oh, I want more privacy, and they put up a solid 6 or a solid 4, and then it can create the visibility issue and there's sightline obstructions that we're concerned.
Right.
So, other than that, is there anything else you'd like to add?
You'll accept that a condition that it must be kept as open as it currently is?
Yes, absolutely.
Any other questions from the board?
Move that the hearing be closed, the matter be placed on the decision calendar. You will both receive a copy of the board's decision by mail once it's rendered. Thank Thank you, folks, and have a nice day.
Second. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed, any abstention?
Next case, 74323 to 74623 Point Lookout, John Gray. Variances, lot area occupied, side yard, maintained garage converted to living space attached to dwelling. Variances, lot area occupied, side yard, rear yard, maintained roof over wood deck, awning, and outdoor shower, all attached to dwelling. Special exception to maintain accessory structure, shed, higher than permitted with less than required side and rear yard setbacks, and with a lot area occupied variance. Maintain 3-foot, 11-inch high fence on top of 2-foot, 7-inch high retaining wall. Overall height, 6 foot, 6 inches, also known as 128 Inwood Avenue. Please be seated, state your name and address for the record.
John Gray, 128 Inwood Avenue, Point Lookout.
Morning, Chairman, members of the board, Richard M. Pavone, 308 East Meadow Avenue, East Meadow. Appearing as the agent for the owner, seated to the left of me, John Gray, 128 Inwood Avenue, Point Lookout. Respectfully requesting all cases heard as one. So it appears that we have a lot, but I'll explain it as simple as possible. The dwelling was constructed in 1936 and submitted to the board copies of old tax cards, tax information, plus additional photos, Google Earth photos, so you can see the character of the block itself and the abutting properties. The house was purchased by my client in 2006. It's an 80 by 60 property, approximately 4,800 square feet, again, a non-conforming property size. The existing height of the dwelling and overall size of the main dwelling is not being changed or increased. Originally, there were applications at the building department to increase or raise the house even higher. Those were withdrawn, and a new design was submitted to the building department proposing whatever is being done, which I'll explain, to the interior of the dwelling under the same existing roof structure, so we're not changing that at all. The dwelling has 3 levels, one being on the grade, the middle level, and the upper level. Again, the roof structure not changing. For the most part, these are interior alterations with minor adjustments and additional living space for a one-family dwelling. On the first level, there's a garage converted to living space, and over time that was changed from the garage itself, used as a family room. The remainder of the interior space will be renovated with upgrades to the kitchen, breakfast area, which is now a roof over, and a concrete patio, which is to be enclosed and part of the main dwelling. There's also a mudroom, laundry room area, and half bathroom.
Is everything that's not maintained within the footprint?
Yes, that is correct, other than on the east side of the property, on the site plan, you'll see the attached shed and also the outdoor shower area and storage area. Those are low-profile additions common to that area because of the size of the property, just to have an area which is on the east side of the property, which would be considered the rear of the property.
Those are also maintained.
Those are the maintains, but the house itself, other than the garage converted to living space, the interior has stayed the same the way it is. That's the way the house was purchased, with the 3 levels, including the 3rd level being bedroom space.
But everything that is on the exterior that you're asking for is to maintain.
Yes, that is correct.
So whatever, if things are changing on the interior, but from the outward appearances, the house is going to look exactly as it is. You're not asking to expand it in its footprint.
That is
including
correct.
the shed and all that stuff.
And if you look at the photos of the house itself that we submitted, plus that overview from Google Earth, there's 2 doghouse dormers on the front of the house. They're going to add one more in. It's going to be a light window, which will actually illuminate the hallway, which is on the 3rd level. And I'll explain that when I get to that level, and then, so you have a better understanding of that.
So one more thing, the
Sure.
garage was converted to living space. It looks like it has garage doors still, so they just do it for the appearance?
No. There's windows currently in the front of the house.
This is the racing.
Do you
Oh, I
have,
see. So we have the old photo.
that's the old photo. You have this photo, which is part of the photo package that we submitted. That's part of the old that's part of the tax information online.
This is it. Okay, keep going.
The areas causing the variances are the existing awning to the north side and the east side, which is the existing lean-to shed, outdoor shower area, storage, and existing covered terrace area, only the first floor and outside of the main dwelling. In addition, the garage converted to living space. The second floor has an interior renovation throughout, with the second floor deck being enclosed, which is on the south side of the dwelling with a master dressing area or master bathroom. The center west front room will be a home office and study area with 2 other bedrooms and exercise room. The existing 3rd floor has 3 bedrooms, which will remain the same. The only added architectural feature will be the 3rd small dormer to the west side of the dwelling for illuminating the hallway and staircase area, noting that the existing roof system and rooms remain the same. The existing shed is located on the northeast corner of the property and is attached to the canvas awning on the north side, and the other use, it's only used for seasonal use. The fencing in question is located on the west property line with a retaining wall and overall height of 6 foot 6 inches, being 6 inches over the allowable height. The existing and proposed renovation, for the most part, within the footprint of the one-family dwelling, again, the height being the same. The overall lot area occupied is 38.6%, and that's due to the size of the property. The west side would be considered the front of the property. Yes. The proposed changes allow the current owner to have the dwelling with a renovated living space that will meet the building code of New York State and permits for all existing conditions. The proposed and existing conditions do not adversely impact the subject property or the surrounding properties. The existing conditions are well maintained, and we're respectfully requesting an approval. And if you see the one photo which I gave you, which is a Google Earth photo showing the 2 houses or the properties from above, you'll see the house to the north is much higher than, which has permits via the building department, and much higher, and the structure that we're renovating is again going to stay the same.
Mr. Rabone, I just want to mark on my material. There's different places where I see masonry walls, 31 inch, and there's a 7 inch, whatever. Which ones are the ones that are before us for 6'6"?
Can I approach for a second?
Hold it upside down. Right. I'm already making a mess of it. Mr. Bavone had indicated that the 6'6" fence has a net 6'6", 6'6". It runs the eastern property line and the southern property line. That's what's before the board today. Go ahead, Mr. Bavone.
Just give me 1 second on that. Provided with many different plans, so.
For that, I'll just confirm with you that the lottery occupied in Weston.
So the shed itself has a 7'1" height at the near the property line, which extends to 10'3" at the structure.
So wait, the shed height at its highest point is 10'3" and 9's allowed.
That's at the building side, and then towards the property line, it slopes down, shed roof to 7'1".
Right, I just need to know the maximum so we know that what we're
Yeah.
considering. Okay, go ahead.
Maximum would be 10'3".
Okay, and then you already went over, I apologize, let's just get all your numbers on the record. Lot area occupied, you're allowed 27.5%, and you are requesting 38.26, is that right?
That is correct.
Side yard,
You have a 4-inch side yard to the north side yard for the storage shed area and that roof over on that side.
okay, hold on. So,
That would be the north side.
so your chart here says side setback each, 50% of opposite sides. This says provided/existing, 7.4 and 29. Is that right?
So you have 7.4 from the north property line to the main dwelling itself.
Right, so the two side yards. So you only need-
That is correct. Rear yard, you have 1 foot 8 inch to the rear yard property line, which you have that retaining wall with the fence on top of the retaining wall. And that encompasses the shower area, the wood, the area, the storage area, the storage shed, also the back of the storage shed.
Well, your chart here, okay, you're required 15 on the first floor, you know that. It says 10.2. That must be like to the house, but I want to use the right one.
If you have the site plan A002 to the east property line, it's
002.3, dash 3?
A002.
Dash 3?
That's what I'm looking at.
I have dash 3 after that. What's the date of yours? Revision.
For the shed itself,
No, the site plan.
yeah, I have, one I'm using is A002. Do you have that?
I have A002 dash 3 with the revision date of September 20th, 23. I just need to make sure that, can I see this thing?
I have a setback of 1 foot 8 inches, I believe, 1 point.
One
Can I-
second. The exhibit site plan, because I just want to make sure we have the right one marked, because this one indicates that you're proposing a 10.2 foot rear yard, which I don't think that's what you're proposing, so we need to get it right.
Well, we're maintaining, if that structure is, those structures which are the outdoor shower area, storage area, are almost to the property line, to the rear property line.
Right, so you're here to request to keep them there,
Maintain them.
not 10.2,
No, not
right?
10, that's correct.
Yeah, so let's get this short. See this one? Okay, so the official one is identical to the one, the exhibit is identical to the one I was using. Here, can you give this to Mr. Bavone and have him,
I have, it's 1
here's what I need
foot
him to do.
and a half inches.
And initial it so that we have the right duck.
1 foot and a half inches.
Just correct, fix it on there then. You see it, Mr. Pavone?
This dimension right here, I'm separating that. And that's the dimension here. So, that's incorrect. That's incorrect. This dimension. That's the one, right there. That's what I was articulating before, that dimension was the. Understood. No, that is our case.
Move the hearing be closed, the matter be placed on the decision calendar. Mr. Pavone, you and your client will be notified by mail of the board's decision once it's ready.
Thank you very much.
You too.
All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed, any abstentions? I think I fooled my back then.
Our next case is 74723 Woodmere, David and Chana Roll. Variances, lot area occupied, side yards aggregate, construct second-story addition and 2.5-story addition, all attached to dwelling, also known as 856 Crestview Avenue. Do you swear affirm to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God? Please state your name and address for the record.
Tina Pangallo, 549 Hempstead Turnpike, West Hempstead, New York, 11552. Good morning again. I'm representing David and Chana Roll of 856 Crestview Avenue in Woodmere. The property is located on the east side of Crestview Avenue, 95.69 feet south of Hillcrest Place in Residence B. We're requesting a variance to construct second-story additions and 2.5-story addition, all attached to the dwelling. The lot coverage allowed is 27.5%, and the lot coverage proposed will be 31.58%. The side yard aggregate required shall be not less than 25% of the width of the lot, which is 19 feet 4.5 inches. The aggregate proposed is 17 feet 5.5 inches. The side 19 feet 4.5 inches, and proposed will be 17 feet 5.5 inches, with side yards of 7 feet 5.5 inches and 10 feet. The existing house has a small kitchen and dining room. The rear extension will allow them to have a large kitchen, dining room, pantry, and mudroom. The second floor will provide a master suite and bathroom and 4 additional bedrooms, 2 bathrooms, and a laundry room. The Rolls have 3 children and a 4th one on the way, and they would like to add some extra space for their growing family. They have one on the way. Mr. Roll did speak to his neighbors, and he doesn't think anyone has any issues. He actually emailed me some letters this morning, but I had already left to come here, so I can print them out and drop them off this afternoon. And we're respectfully asking the board to grant this variance.
Thank you.
Yes.
Any other questions from the board?
Move the hearing be closed, the matter be placed on the decision calendar. Ms. Pangallo, you'll be notified by mail of the board's decision once it's ready.
Thank you very much.
Thank you, have a nice day.
All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed, any abstentions? Next case, Seaman. Maintain a rear deck. What's ahead?
Next case, 74823 Merrick, Diane and Gary Seaman. Variance, lot area occupied, maintain rear deck attached to dwelling, also known as 19 Cordeloo Road. Do you swear to affirm to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God? Yes, I do. Please be seated, state your name and address for the record.
Mr. Gray.
Chris Gray, Architect, 2401 Capri Place, North Belmont, New York, representing Diane and Gary Seaman, located at 19 Cortelyou Road in Merrick. Good morning.
Morning.
My client, we filed application to legalize an open deck in the rear of their home. This property is located in Residence B, where the maximum building area is 27.5%. This particular deck is higher than 3 feet, so that increase to the building area does not apply. The building area is 30.9%, where the maximum is 27.5. To my knowledge, it's been there quite a while. Underneath that is a concrete patio, and they covered it with wood and extended it a little bit. Believe that the concrete structure was original to the house.
How did your client come to know that it needed to be legalized? Is there a complaint or selling the house?
In the near future, they wish to sell, and there was several applications that were filed. Just getting everything up to speed, making sure everything's okay. And there were several applications filed. This was the only one that required permission from the board.
Mr. Gray, you're aware there are several open building permits? Are they going to be closed out as well?
Which ones in particular?
The ones that are open?
Well, that's
Specifically, it's maintained finished basement for
right.
storage?
Those were the series of applications that were filed.
Pardon?
That was part of the series of applications that were filed to clean this up, this being the last. And if this is approved, then they'll go through the approval process and close everything up.
Okay, thank you.
Move the hearing be closed, the matter be placed on the decision calendar. Mr. Gray, you'll be notified by mail of the board's decision once.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Next case, 74923 West Hempstead, Donato Barocco. Variance, lot area occupied, construct detached garage, also known as 588 David Street. You've already been sworn in. State your name and address for the record.
Yes. Tina Pangallo, 549 Hempstead Turnpike, West Hempstead, New York, 11552. I'm representing Donato Baraccio of 588 David Street in West Hempstead. The property is located on the west side of David Street, 225.91 feet north of Pauly Drive in Residence B. We're requesting a variance to construct a detached garage that exceeds the lot coverage allowed of 27.5%. The lot coverage proposed would be 29.8%. There's an application that you may see on the search sheet for a proposed carport as well. Mr. Baraccio has decided against that and will be withdrawing that application. I would also like to submit letters from 7 neighbors, including those directly adjacent to his property, and we're respectfully asking the board to grant this variance.
Ms. Pangallo, the application with the carport that's to be removed, to be not pursued.
Withdrawn.
How would is that factored into lot area occupied on this, or is it not counted at all? Does that change our analysis?
It's not counted.
Why did your client decide to not pursue?
It was going to be too close to the property line, and he just decided it wasn't worth doing it.
And why, what's the proposed use of the garage beside the obvious? Like, sometimes people go, my client collects cars, or
No, just a garage for his car.
the house never had a garage, or was it converted at some prior time?
Never had a garage.
Huh. Okay.
I have a question. There looks like there's a shed there now. Is that taken down?
I don't recall the shed being there. I know we filed for a roof over a patio, but it may have been taken down. I can't swear to it.
Yeah, it looks like it's in the same area as the garage.
Oh, okay. I can't swear whether that shed is there. I don't remember a shed being there, but they would be removing it to replace the garage if it is still there, but I can't say for sure.
Who drew the plans?
My draftsman.
Okay, have you ever been to the property?
Yes,
So
but I don't.
if he doesn't have them on the plans, then so.
I don't think there was a
safe to
shed
say
there.
that he drew what was Was he at the property with you?
No, he was there separately.
Okay.
Yeah, I can't say for sure. I don't recall the shed being there. But the shed is where, in the overall view, the shed is where, like, the garage would be? Yeah, I don't. So if it was there, he'll remove it, but I just don't know if it was there.
It's all right, we may
For sure.
have, we may have a member of the board inspect to see whether or not the shed is there.
Okay, do you
All
want
right.
me to go and take a picture and submit it?
No.
Okay.
Any other questions from the board?
Do I need any
If
questions?
not, do
No.
I have a motion?
Move the hearing be closed, the matter be placed on the decision calendar. Ms. Pangallo, you'll be notified by mail of the board's decision once it's rendered.
Thank you.
All in
Are you
favor?
done for the day, or this morning? And do you have afternoon too?
Next case, 750-23 Wantor, Mikolo Nasarev, variance, lot area occupied, construct roof over open porch attached to dwelling, also known as 2895 Anderson Street. Please be seated, state your name and address for the record.
Good morning, members of the board, Mr. Chairman. My name is Ashley Lowe from Mark Anthony Architects. Our office is located at 1563 Belmore Avenue in Belmore, New York. I am here this morning representing my client, Mikolo Nozarev, who is the owner and occupant of the subject property located at 2895 Anderson Street in Wancho, New York. My client has submitted an application for a proposed second floor addition, first floor interior alterations, proposed porch, and proposed AC units. We are here today for a lot coverage variance. The proposed lot coverage is 30.52%, which needs relief of 3.02% from the 27.5% required in a Residence B zone. The rest of the zoning for the property is compliant. Additionally, I would also like to mention that the proposed porch is a roof over open porch and is not enclosed. My client chose to do this work for the additional space for his family, as well as increase curb appeal to make it his dream forever home. This is our only request for today. I can answer any questions the board may have.
Are there stairs to the second floor on the wood deck? You know, can I enter the second floor through the exterior stairs?
Yes, the stairs go up from the existing patio.
And I could get into the house from those stairs? Why doesn't it need a rear yard?
No, you can only get into the house from the first floor.
The rear yard setback shows from the rear yard to the dwelling 36.33.
Yes.
Why wouldn't, what's the height of that existing wood deck? If you know. I know.
I don't have the height of the wood deck, because we weren't
Wait,
here
there's
for that today.
there's a, it says H greater than 3 feet, is it, you think that's it?
Yes, I know that it doesn't go up to the second floor.
So why wouldn't it?
You got it.
Any other questions from the board? If not, do I have a motion?
Move the hearing be closed, the matter be placed on the decision calendar. Ms. Love, you'll be notified by mail of the board's decision once it's rendered. Thank you.
Thank you. Have a happy holiday.
All in favor?
You too.
Aye. Any opposed, any abstentions?
Next case, 751-23 Woodmere, Ofar Itzak, variance, side yards, maintain rear wood deck on dwelling A, front dwelling, variance, side yard, maintain side open porch on dwelling B, rear dwelling, north, also known as 50 Center Street. Do you swear or affirm to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God? Please be seated, state your name and address for the record.
Amiel Savaldi, One Meadow Drive, Woodmere, New York.
Ofer Yitzhak, 50 Center Street, Woodmere, New York.
Good morning to the board. I'm here representing Mr. Yitzhak. He owns the property at 50 Center Street in Woodmere. He purchased it about 10 years ago. The property has a front dwelling and a rear building. And we are here to requesting a variance for side yard for a rear wood deck for the first building, for the front building, dwelling A. And yes,
You refer to it on your plot plan as dwelling A.
dwelling A.
So for consistency's sake, why don't we continue
Okay.
that instead
So
of the front and rear?
the rear deck is for dwelling A. We maintaining the deck, and the dwelling B has a side open porch, which also being maintained, and we are here requesting the board to grant us a variance for side yard. The requirement of of Article 7, Section 71 is for 20-foot side yard in case of two structures, and we have 18, etc., as shown.
Wait, but I'm trying to figure out why, oh, the rear yard needs a side yard because it's 18 instead of 20.
Exactly.
Okay, when did you say your client purchased the house?
10 years ago.
All right, and how long have these, has the deck been there on the dwelling A and the open porch on dwelling B?
About 4 years ago.
So he added both of those to the...
The open porch was added, the deck was replaced. There was a deck there when he purchased it, and it was in bad shape, and he direct replaced it.
Is your client in the construction industry?
No, he used a contractor.
Okay. And then how did your client come to know that he needed to come to zoning for these two items?
Did he get a citation?
Nobody complained.
No, how did you find out that?
When we did the stucco in the house, it was like 2 years ago.
I believe that's what I recall.
Somebody complained. They put a stop order for the house because we did the stucco.
Wait, did you say stucco?
Stucco.
So, hold on, so when you were stuccoing, dwelling A or dwelling B?
I would say probably about 4 years ago.
Dwelling A or dwelling B?
Yeah, both of them.
So you were stuccoing them 4 years ago?
Yes.
Someone complained, what did they complain about?
Well, the house was for rent, and the people that
It was a,
living there, they complained about the noise and all that, and they want some refund money, like a month off, which I did give them.
Oh, the tenant in one of the houses
Yes.
complained about the noise of the stucco process?
Yes, so they put a stop order for it.
Wait, to whom did they complain, the town?
Yeah, I believe it was their complaint to the town, and there was the...
Baldi, he can answer. Please, one at a time, she's got to take it down.
Yes, they did. And-
Okay, and did the inspector come out?
And he just put stop order for the house.
Did an
for the
inspector?
work. Inspector,
Did you
yes.
get a summons or something called a notice of potential violation, or what?
I have my contractor.
We got to stop work order.
No,
It was a note of stop work order
Okay, and that
for
led
work
you
without
to,
a permit.
I'm sorry, I interrupted you now. And that led you to apply to legalize these two items?
Yes.
The inspector came out about the stucco and saw that these two items were not permitted yet.
They came just for the start.
Well, then, they must have noticed these two items and let you know that, that's how you found out you needed to legalize these, right? Okay. It's a long way of getting that answer.
And may I, and may I add that in addition, there were permits in 2014 and in 2005 that did not require a non-conforming, and since we are submitting the plans to legalize everything, we submitted a non-conforming and maintain, and we making sure that everything would be legal on this property.
Non-conforming for both structures or for one of them?
For both.
And what's the status of that?
It was approved.
Okay, is there a letter? Do we have the letter?
I know that the permit was issued for the non-conforming.
Well, usually the letter contains, were there any conditions in the letter then?
I believe there were, to legalize the deck, et cetera.
All right, well, we gotta find that and make sure we're covering them all then, right?
Yes,
Do you have a copy with you by any chance?
I don't.
You do not?
I don't.
All right, let's see what we have here. Have you ever seen it, Mr. Zavaldi, the letter?
Not recently.
But at some point in time, did you see the
Yes,
letter? So you're familiar with it? Fine.
yes.
The non-conforming letter? It is. Good job, Gail.
Gail always has it all together.
Right? All right, we found it, Mr. Zavaldi, so let's just see what it says. So, this letter is dated February 2nd of this year, 2023. Application to maintain a non-conforming one-family and detached garage with quarters on a 60 by 177 irregular lot. Indicates that in 1938, the inspection there existed a one-family dwelling and detached garage with quarters of approximately 14 years of age. Submitted floor plans indicate improve with a finished basement, hot water, goes on and on and on. Building department records indicate building permit 2014 to install fence was issued but never certified, et cetera, et cetera. This application to maintain a, that being one, non-conforming one-family dwelling and a detached garage on the plot is hereby granted, subject to the following conditions. Front dwelling, building permit for the finished basement, have you applied for that?
Yes,
Okay. Building permit for the rear deck, that's before us. Wait, dwelling, front dwelling, that's the rear deck, yeah, okay. Building permit for the first floor powder room, have you applied for that?
yeah, it's included in the maintain application. We have maintained house,
There's no maintain a house before us. There's a deck and a porch.
side porch. We will comply
must
with all
be.
the,
Yeah, it must be, as of right or something.
we will comply with all the
Okay, well,
requirements.
let's just make
for
sure we have them. Plumbing permit for the first floor powder room, plumbing permit for hot water heater, plumbing permit for washing machine, and inspection by the area inspector. Okay, now rear dwelling. See, aren't you glad I stayed with it, so we know we have both dwellings? Okay. Powder room permit, conversion permit for the front portion of the former garage to living space. Did you apply for that?
I believe it's not, or not all of it was done. I maintain.
Okay. Building
will-
permit for the side roof over, that's before us.
Correct.
Then we have the plumbing for the powder room, the water heater, the washing machine, and that's pretty much that. If you don't have a copy of this, you might want to get one from me.
We have it in the office.
Okay.
Thank you.
You did, okay. All right. So,
Any other questions from the
Yes,
board?
I have a question. Are there any other structures on the property other than the two houses?
There was a shed that's going to be removed.
The shed,
There was a vinyl storage shed that's going to be removed.
Well, it looks, I mean, on the photos that I have here from Google, looks like more than a vinyl shed.
Yeah, I think there was the a above-ground pool they had at one point and shed that they were supposed to remove it. I don't know if it was removed yet.
There's no pool in there.
There was
No, I ask about the sheds.
There, yeah, we have a deck, you know, very low on the ground.
Shed.
The shed is like Home Depot shed.
that's going to be removed
Why isn't it on your plot plan?
because it was supposed to be removed.
Oh,
That's
but it
why.
has not.
It has not been removed.
No, we did not.
Okay. So what
We
we,
can remove it, it's not a problem. It's a very small shed,
No, Mr.
because we have no basement.
Mr. Zavaldi, can you approach, because there's a lot more than a little shed here. There's all kinds of stuff back there that we don't see on our plot plan.
you do have a finished basement.
And where? In the front?
I don't know. I mean, you said there's no basement. There is a basement.
There's a basement in dwelling A.
Okay, this is what's back there.
That was a little pool or something, that.
This is, the pool was removed, but there is this small deck that's going to be all
What's
removed.
that? What's that? What's that? That looks like the top of a little shed.
The only shed was the Home Depot shed.
Okay.
There was like a little.
So none of
Okay,
this is
so
there
what else,
now?
what is all that stuff?
I have not been there for a year.
Who drew the plans? Who drew the site plan?
We drew it, but it was like a long time. It's February.
I know, but if you drew it and you were there before, why did you put this to
The
me?
owner said it's going to be removed.
You want to go show him that real quick? Explain what our questions relate to, so he can know what's not on the plan, so he can do what he told you he was going to do?
Yes, that's the deck. Which
What
one?
is all that stuff? See, sir, the issue is that it's not on the drawings, and the drawings are supposed to accurately represent everything that's on the property. So what
We
say,
can remove it with no problem.
all of that stuff?
Yes.
Okay. Still doesn't exactly solve the problem that it was supposed to be on the drawings, as you know, Mr. Zavaldi, but I understand your client told you it was going to be removed.
But my question with the shed, small shed from Home Depot.
No, but
I'm not
there's-
allowed,
There's a lot of other stuff there that isn't a small shed for Home Depot. There's about 4 different structure style things.
and I have a picture of the basement, if you want to see it, I can show you.
Yeah.
No, no.
We-
יש להם את התוכנית. You have
We
the plan.
can't because you can't take your phone into evidence. If we're going to consider something, we have to have it in the file.
Okay.
So that's, sorry.
Thank you.
How many sheds are on the property?
Just
Home,
one.
Home Depot, Lowe's, I don't care.
Just one, in the back.
One?
back house.
It looks like there's also a shed between the two houses on the fence line.
There is none.
Okay. Besides the 2 houses, right? What other structures of any size, shape are on the property right now? I thought you said there was a Home Depot shed there.
We have the shed in the back house, and we have, it's very, I don't know if you call it pergola, but it's like a small deck on the
That-
corner of the house.
That was not removed yet?
No, we did not.
So it has to be removed.
Is that the shed or?
We'll
I'm
remove
not
it.
going there. You go to
It's, all right, whatever.
There's another one too.
All right, Mr. Zavaldi, is there anything else you'd like to add?
No, that's it.
Okay, do we have any other questions from the board?
I move the hearing be closed, the case placed on the decision calendar. When the board renders its decision, you will be notified.
Thank you.
Often there's on-site inspections, so
Second? All in favor?
Aye.
Thank you.
Thank you.
All right, folks, we have to take a short break to let the court reporter rest her hands, so no more than 10 minutes. We'll be right back, okay?
Our next case is 75223 East Meadow, Epic, Long Island. Install one detached LED reader board sign not permitted, overall size 80 square foot, 40 square foot per face, clearance 3 foot 6 inches from grade to bottom of sign, also known as 1500 Hempstead Turnpike. Do you swear or affirm to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God? I do. Please be seated, state your name and address for the record.
My name is Tom Hopkins. I'm the president and CEO of the Epic family of human service agencies. Our headquarters are at 1500 Hempstead Turnpike in East Meadow. Epic family of human service agencies. That's the big monster title, yeah. We just call ourselves Epic. So.
Good morning, members of the board. My name is Dean Kutsubis. My address is 121 Newbridge Road, Hicksville, New York, 11801. I'm here today with Thomas Hopkins and also James Brown of Epic, Long Island. The building is located at 1500 Hempstead Turnpike. It is right at the eastbound exit ramp of the Meadowbrook State Parkway. So it's on Hempstead Turnpike. As you exit the parkway, it's right there, right at the corner. It was formerly the Snapple building, and you know they have the building for a number of years as Epic Long Island. We're seeking a variance to.
Actually, that used to be a convent.
Yes,
That
yes,
was
a
way
long time
before
ago.
that.
Yeah, and then Snapple took it, and now you guys are.
Lukoil, the Russian oil company, had them just before us, and I
Oh,
think,
right.
yeah, we bought it from them.
Interesting little history.
Okay, we're seeking a variance to install a proposed two-sided LED reader board and sign. The size we're requesting is 80 square feet total. That's 40 and 40, so it's a two-sided sign. Where 64 square feet total is allowable. The reader board is not permitted in any district. The bottom of the sign is set to be at 3 foot 6 above grade, where the required is 7 feet. The overall sign is 5 by 8, and the actual reader board portion is only about 2.5 by 7 feet. This sign is to replace the existing sign, which currently reads the building number 1500. It will be mounted on the existing sign poles and will remain in the same location. The ground is built up in that location, so it appears to be, you know, it's higher, and it is completely surrounded by landscaping. And I'm sure some of the landscaping will be trimmed or altered to accommodate, you know, better visibility for this sign.
Mr. Gitsubis, so this is actually replacing a sign?
Yes, it's replacing a sign. It is going to be a little bit larger than the sign that's there. The sign that's there is just, it just says 1500 right now. I do have photos I can submit just so you can see what's there now.
And is there a reason why we're putting the clearance at 3 foot 6 inches?
Because it's not in to my understanding, the code for 7 feet would be for like a typical pylon sign in a parking lot at a situation, so to allow for driver visibility underneath it. It's just where this sign is located. It's not in an area that would block any sort of driver visibility. It is on a landscaped island, and there's landscaping all along that property line there.
I know, and that is usually the primary concern that you've identified, visibility. But I also tend to think sometimes that if it's too low, it's more difficult for people to see, and it's a little more of a distract. I mean, it's a little more, when you're driving, it's nice if you can go, boom, I see the sign, now I know where I'm going, versus, you know, where is it? You know what I'm saying?
Well, let me just emphasize, this is, the ground in that location is actually built up. So even though we're saying that it's 3 foot 6 above ground, if you look at those photos, you'll see that the ground is actually, it's up, you know, it's built up a little bit. I don't know exactly
What's the height of this, I'm looking at the picture of the 1500 sign.
Yes.
So what's the height of the top of that sign?
That one is a little bit lower than this. So our total, we're asking for a total of 8 foot 6. The sign that's there, I unfortunately didn't measure that sign that's there, but it is smaller.
So it's 8, 6 plus 1, it looks like, for the arch. The thing is, like, 1,500 is really big writing, right? Now you're gonna have a sign that's no taller than the existing one, apparently. And there's gonna be a lot more writing, and the address is shrinking significantly, it looks like. I'm just thinking, maybe it's better if it's a little taller. I mean, do you understand what I'm concerned about?
Okay, so,
Hold on. Your other client is interested in speaking.
come on.
No, wait, come
Wait,
on
wait.
up. Wait, hold on.
Give him a microphone, will you, Mr. Katsubas?
My name is James Brown, address 1500 Hempstead Turnpike, East Meadow, New York. The sign that's currently there is, this sign is going to be approximately 1.5 feet taller than what's there. So whatever this comes out to be on the plan, as 8 foot 6, it's going to be, the top of the sign is going to be about, currently is about 7 feet. This is going to be about 1.5 feet higher total. The bottom part of the new sign will be right about where the tops of the shrubbery is now. That's about where it measures out, because there's about, those bushes are about 3'6" high, and that's right about where the bottom of the sign's going to be.
It's just because I myself found myself sometimes distracted, like looking for the sign and the writing's so small or whatever. I love the 1,500 sign because it's large enough that no one's gonna, you can do the glance and keep paying attention to your driving. So the portion of the sign at the bottom of the sign, that's gonna be a sign that changes, that can change the message. And
Okay, so that's the reader board, that's approximately 2'6" by approximately 7 feet width. And that's gonna be, towards the bottom of the sign, obviously with the metal frame all the way around. So it's not right at the bottom.
it's digital, right?
Yes.
So is it the type where, for a week or something, there'll be a message of like, Tuesdays is, whatever it says, versus the message keeps changing,
So
which,
I did speak to my clients about that, and being that I presented cases like this before this board, they are aware that the messages aren't to be, are to rotate on like 30-second or intervals, so they won't be too flashy, as not to be a distraction to the drivers. We're also, request that it will be on an auto dimmer, so it gets dimmed at night, and then we're requesting that that the sign will be on from 7 a.m. till 9 p.m. Those are the hours of the business. They are closed Sundays, but we're still requesting that the sign be on Sundays as well.
Sure. I think of it like, the PSAs, the public service announcements you hear on the radio. This is like a visual concomitant of that. We'll be having things like, May is Mental Health Month, free for the community, certification in epilepsy first aid, things like that, Yeah. Yeah. I understand your point. I can tell you this from experience. My office looks down, I've got the window, this Hempstead Turnpike. it is not a fast-moving highway at that point, just before Merrick Road. So there's a lot of stop and go. There's a light right there. People have plenty of time to look at it. Yeah, somebody that's whizzing by, some 22-year-old kid, you know, in his souped-up car is not going to see it as he buzzes by, but most commuters going through there, I think, will see it. I've heard so much from people who don't know who we are and what we do. They see our name on the building, and they see our logo, and then when they bump into me, they say, well, gee, I see that every day. What is it you do? And I say, well, we provide mental health services.
Yeah, I like the idea. I mean, but
Yeah.
what's your analysis for why, let's say you couldn't leave the message for 1 minute instead of 30 seconds? I mean,
We could?
I feel like a minute's a little better, but like, again, I'm pulling this random number. I just feel like 30 seconds is fast, but maybe I'm wrong, because I agree with you. I think I've never heard of you. I've been on this board for almost 19 years. And
We've been in existence since 1952.
right,
So,
and I'm sure what you do is a huge community benefit.
Yeah.
So I'm all for that idea. So it would be that section down here, you said is like 7 by 2.5 or something? Okay. I don't know, I just feel like maybe you should raise it a little bit. It's up to you guys. I mean, I'd like the sign to be well seen. My motivation here is, I'd like it to be non-distracting and safe and well seen because I think it's a huge benefit to the community. But at the very least, I'd like it.
Yeah, it's not a big deal probably to raise it up another 6 inches or so.
Unless stylistically you don't want to, but I just feel like the more it can be seen, the better, and you're not asking for something obnoxiously high anyway.
Right, and I think that the minute time frame for the changing, that's fine as well, you know,
All right. Well, if it turns out that negatively impacts your business model, then let us know.
I don't think it would be a problem.
Okay,
I think we'd like to do what works best. If we try 30 seconds and it seems like it's not working, and it...
you want the flexibility. Okay, well, we
Yeah,
won't
yeah.
put a condition on it then. I mean, we have to deliberate, but,
Yeah, yeah.
you know, I felt like a minute was nice because I'd like, well, I already stated the reasons that I felt.
And next time you drive by there, please knock on the door, park, and come on in and see what we do.
How are you funded?
By the state of New York, by the federal government.
Multiple.
Multiple sources, some private donations.
That's terrific. I wish we had a pamphlet here. You don't have a pamphlet, do you? Do pamphlets even exist anymore? I know. Look
I
on
can
the
give an
website.
elevator speech, but you know.
Okay, is there
People are
anything else you wish to add, Mr. Katsubis?
Just a couple other notes I got. There's no residential properties in the area. There's no negative effect to any like neighbors. The Borellis is their immediate neighbor who was on board. They could speak to Borellis and they're on board with this.
And you want to keep the sign on, the hours are 7 and 9, you want the sign on while it's open, but you also want it on Sunday, which I think is not a bad thing, because people learn that service is available there. And then the dimming, if you're not near residential, what was the rationale on the dimming?
It's just because just the night, so that they...
Because I feel like it should always be lit in a way so that people in need, like they'll see it, and like one day when they have a need, they might know the resources there.
Dimming, what happens is like during the daytime it's brighter so you can see it, and just as it gets dark at night, it auto dims. So
Leave
that
it to
way
your
it's,
judgment.
you know, it won't
Okay, I don't know that that's a condition we'll want to put on you, use your judgment. We'll deliberate on it. All right, I have no further questions, Mr. Chairman. Move the hearing, close the matter, be placed on decision calendar. Everyone who signed in will receive a copy of the board's decision by mail once it's rendered. Have a wonderful day, and thank you for doing the work to help the community.
Thank you very much. Thank you.
Thank you.
Next case, 70623 to 70723 West Hempstead. No, I apologize. Next case, 72223 East Meadow. Jonathan Munez and Miriam Velarda. Variances, lot area occupied, side yards aggregate, yard, maintain addition, enclosed porch, and rollout awning, all attached to dwelling, also known as 400 Warwick Road. You've already been sworn in. Please state your name and address for the record.
Tina Pengallo, 549 Hempstead Turnpike, West Hempstead, New York, 11552. I'm representing Jonathan Muniz and Manira Velarde, the purchasers of 400 Warwick Road in East Meadow, and the seller of the property, Sherry Lazo. The property is located on the west side of Warwick Road, 376.96 feet north of Meadow Street in Residence B. We're requesting a variance to maintain an addition, enclosed porch, and roll-out awning, all attached to the dwelling, that exceed the lot coverage allowed, rear yard setback, and side yard aggregate. The lot coverage allowed is 27.5%, and the lot coverage provided is 33%. The side yard aggregate required is 15 feet, and the side yard aggregate provided is 14 feet. The side yard required is 5 feet, and the side yard provided is 4 feet. The rear yard setback required is 15 feet, and the rear yard setback when the retractable awning is open is 5.5 feet. When the awning is closed, the rear yard setback is 20 feet. This is the childhood home of Sherry Lazo, and as far as she can estimate, all these structures have been there for at least 40 years. The house closed and $16,000 is being held in escrow, and we're respectfully asking the board to grant these variances.
Is that your case, Ms. Pangaro?
Yes, it is.
Any other questions from the board?
Move the hearing be closed, the matter be placed on the decision calendar. Ms. Pangalo, you'll be notified by mail of the board's decision once it's rendered. Hold on,
Wait,
hold on.
wait.
I withdraw my motion.
Yes, there is. That one front door is just a storage room that was, if you look on the plan, it doesn't lead into the house. It's just a door that leads into a storage room.
Is there heat in there? Is it habitable?
No, I don't know if there's heat in there, but it's just a little storage room that you can only get to by that front door. So there's no access to the immediate house, no.
Is there access to the garage conversion?
No. No, it's just one storage room with the only access being from that door.
And you're not planning to like push the bottom out and drop it instead of stairs to the basement, are you, Ms. Pangalo?
No, there is no basement.
I'm just,
Oh.
So how do you
To the attic.
main house to the garage conversion?
To that storage room, only through the front. Through the garage conversion, you're going through the living room, there's a computer room, and then there's a bedroom.
How large is that?
It is 8 by 8. 8 by 8. 8 feet, looks like 8 feet 4 inches by 8 feet 6 inches. No, because it's just a storage area with the only access being that front door. So you can't get into the main house from that storage room.
Sure you can. You can get into the garage conversion. Buildings. Is that buildings?
Yes, there is. Just storage. Just storage. That's it.
Explosives.
No. So, in other words, it's just this room. You can't get into, like, the bedroom is behind it, and there's a wall there, and then the living room is on this side of it, and there's a wall there. Yes. That's correct. Because I guess if they close up that front door, there'll be no other way to get into that section. Right. Right, yes, lawnmowers, things like that, because there's no garage, so the lawnmower, some pool stuff, because there is a pool there, that type, it's just used for storage for not having a garage. Yes. Dining room, living room, yes.
Been in the house, right?
Yes,
And you've seen the plans, so
yes.
they're...
And I know they don't usually like two front doors, I understand that. It's just, that's the only way into this storage space.
Mr. Chairman, I would move that the hearing be closed and the matter be placed on the decision calendar. You'll be notified by mail of the board's decision once it's rendered. Ms. Pangallo? Aye.
Thank you very much, and happy holidays to everybody.
Next case, 70623 to 70723 West Hempstead, Chameleon Event Space, renewal of grants, use premises for place of public assembly and amusement, cabaret, live music and dancing, for variance in off-street parking cabaret, also known as 510-516 Hempstead Turnpike. Please state your name and swear or affirm to tell the truth, the whole truth, nothing but the truth, so help you God. Please be seated, state your name and address for the record.
Gilad, G-I-L-A-D, last name Aldad, A-L-D-A-D, 510 Hempstead Turnpike, Suite 209, West Hempstead, New York, 11552. Good morning. So I'm here in both capacities. I'm the owner of the Chameleon Event Space, but I'm also the owner of the Cherry Valley Shopping Center, which is the 490-520 Hempstead Turnpike. That's where the arch is.
Golden
Remind me to
Arches.
tell you that you look like Dick Vitale later.
Pardon?
You look like Dick Vitale, the college announcer. Oh, you got to look that up. Before we leave, you're going to look that up.
I wouldn't know how to do that.
There was an existing variance. This is a renewal.
Yeah, I think this is the one that no one showed up for last.
That's, if you could be kind enough and let me know what address these are being mailed to, just to make sure we're all on the same page.
What were the prior conditions?
Understood. So if we could be kind enough and make the mailing address the 510 Hempstead Turnpike, Suite 209. That's where the offices are. So 510 Hempstead Turnpike, 510 Hempstead Turnpike, Suite 209. Thank you. Thank you. No,
This is a renewal. This is a renewal of your grant to use the premises for public assembly and amusement, which includes cabaret, music and dancing, off-street parking, cabaret. Hold on. So you mentioned that it's an event space. Can you just tell me real quickly what kind of events you...
Social. It's pretty much sweet 16s, communions, bar mitzvahs, baby namings.
How many, what's the capacity?
300 people.
Okay. All right. How long have you had this grant? When was it first granted, or how long have you been
No,
doing-
so we have actually, the property was purchased a few years ago. It was been vacant.
Purchased by you?
Correct, by Aldad and Sons Realty. So at this point, we are opening it back up as an event space. It used to be a nightclub focus, jams, through the years. It has always been a nightclub. We're opening it back up just as an event space, not as a nightclub.
Okay, wait, so you didn't own it when the initial grant for the parking and the cabaret?
1976.
Okay. Do you know what the parking requirement was then?
I do not.
So how long has it been since it's not been open?
I believe the variance expired in 2017.
It did.
Okay, but how long
It has not been open ever since we've owned the property, so I don't know how far back that was.
And I'm
So
sorry,
we've
when
acquired
did
the property closed,
When did you acquire it?
I believe 5 years ago.
Did you say, I think, 5 years ago?
I have to be
Okay,
exact.
so let's say 2019, 2018?
That's about right.
Okay, so since 2018, it's not been operated?
That's correct.
I'm only asking because I'm trying to
No,
understand.
no, it's been closed.
Because when the variance expires and you don't get extension of time and stuff like that, we have to examine whether or not the conditions have changed,
Understood.
right? So, hold on a second. So, we had a little powwow here, if that's not politically incorrect to say. But I'm part Native American, so I guess I can. Anyway, so, given a number of things, the grant was made, as you say, in 1976, in a certain set of conditions, both, probably the proposal was different than it is now, the character of the community may or may not have been the same, it's a sufficient amount of time. Since this has expired, and you've not operated this type of thing here, we don't really know what you want to operate there. You've said, I believe you, that you want to. We think that it warrants a de novo review of what you propose, and and part of that includes the building department doing a parking analysis as to the number of parking spots that would be required for the proposal. So we're thinking that we want to have an actual hearing for you to present to the board your proposal, and we can analyze, what you want to do there, what parking spots you need, et cetera, because it's been so long, it could have changed. And since it's already expired, we're required to have a full review since it's not in place, it's expired. Part of that would require would be for the building department to evaluate your proposal and at least do the parking calculation, so that when you come here, you know what the calculation yields, so we can, compare that to what you propose. I'm sure your proposed parking isn't probably changing, but we don't know how the building department will calculate the required parking. So in order for us to do this, the administrative process needs to be shored up. So hold on.
I think you should file a supplement in the buildings department with the required floor plans, required parking, and what your proposed use is. And then they will determine whether or not it has to get flushed down here as like Mr. D'Amato said, a de novo case.
Well, I don't care if the case number changes or not, but the fact of the matter is, we just need a building department to pass on what variances you need, and then we need you to come down and tell us about your whole proposal. And I don't see you being able to do it now because you probably want a parking lot. That's the only reason.
Okay, so being misinformed from the building department, my understanding was that when I was applying for the public assembly permit, they came back and said, your variance is expired, renew the variance. What was the steps? Put the application in. I understand that it's going to require more than just showing up today. But if you look at the portal actually from the building department has an inspection that was done.
Wait, I missed that part. If you
At the
look-
portal.
Right,
for-
right, I know that.
So the building department did do an inspection, and it just said, okay, fine, the boarding zone of appeals,
You mean a physical inspection?
they did,
Okay.
they did.
Did you put any plans into them, or?
I did, all that has been done. So there is a application for opening up the event space with the building department, and my next step, if you look at the portal, I even have it open.
Wait, so you put in an application to do all this?
I did.
Separate from the fact that that the prior grant expired? You just you started over?
Correct. I started over, we had a building permit in terms of renovations.
Do you have that number? Building application number or permit number? Please.
Your BZA grant is 5801, but
I
I
know
want
what
to
the
look up to see
BZA
the
is.
actual application that you're referring to.
You said that you,
Oh, wait, I missed that. I want to hear that.
2016766 is the building permit. 2016766 is the building permit.
that was that was filed in 2016.
That's the permit, or the?
That was filed in 2000 and,
16 because of the first three. Wait, that's an application number, or the permit was granted?
that's the building permit number,
And that was a permit to do what?
to renovate the inside of the facility with an so we
That's-
submitted with an architect. We, at this point, yes, COVID set us back quite a number of months,
But that was
years.
your interior
Yes, those are
renovation.
interior
Oh.
renovations. And then when I went back to apply for the public assembly permit, this, call it a hiccup, came up and they're like, wait, you have a variance that's expired. In order to get from point A to point B, you gotta settle this matter with the Board of Appeals.
Okay, so when you put in the interior alterations application,
Go ahead.
did you also put in, did they analyze your parking needs?
To be honest, I don't recall. It was quite a while back.
Yeah, 2016.
Yeah, that's 7 years ago.
Okay, but-
Yeah.
But I'm with you, but yeah.
Okay, so,
I believe what they were actually banking on is the fact that at the time, I think the 2017 variance was still in effect. So then, here I am today, having had that expired, and they said, okay, wonderful, go renew that so you could continue. I understand that you are requesting to start certain processes over, but at the time, when I met with the building department directly, they advised me that in order to get your public assembly permit, you're gonna have to renew this variance. That's from 1976, that's been on standing for this particular
You,
location.
you technically changed the use of the property also.
How do you figure?
What's not a cabaret with live music and dancing?
And I'm doing what now? An event space?
Yeah.
I mean, in terms of public assembly purposes, I'm not sure I agree that it was a different usage in terms of, if anything.
Has the
I get-
occupancy changed?
If anything, I went down. It used to be 501 people. I still have the original certificate from that. It used to be a 501 occupancy legally, not less. I went down because I don't have that option anymore now that it's ADA compliant. But prior to that, it used to be over 500 people,
What is it now?
300. The facility was not ADA compliant whatsoever. It used to be a nightclub with, depending on how old you are, people gave me different names, from Jams to Focus to,
Is it operating now?
it's not.
No.
No, I'm
Okay.
trying to get it legalized.
Testify.
Understood. Well, I appreciate you not operating.
Brownie Point. Mr. Pellegrini.
Sir?
Joe gets brownie points for not operating.
He does.
I got it.
Otherwise, he puts us on the,
I go by that place every day.
do you?
Every day.
I want to figure out procedurally how we
Help me expedite.
Yeah.
Agree.
We
Did
get
you-
it.
VITALE, Vital.
I looked it up. I don't look
You don't see
anything
it,
like
huh?
him. No.
Yes, he does. We looked him up. He also looks like a few others. we looked up
I
there.
have a photograph in there, but I tell people I look like Burt Young.
Maybe it was the orange tie along with the whole Syracuse thing.
You know, in addition,
Please.
council's just informed me that the way they calculate parking has recently changed too.
Yep.
I'm trying to figure out how we can have you come back in the shortest amount of time while we can figure out how we get these cases together, your interior alterations, but make sure that we have the building department examine what your parking requirement is today based on your proposal and whatever else variances you need, so that we can evaluate it. And you can come in, and if you need a parking expert, you know, if the parking calculation, either by way of the new equation or by way of the
might be.
different uses from when it was originally calculated in 76, you know, if it's not that different, you know, you may not need,
No.
you may feel confident, it's your decision, but, so we're trying to figure out, but we definitely need you to come back in, but we need more information in order to do our jobs, I feel, that's what I think, Mr. Chairman.
I
So,
understand.
is this something that is part of, sorry, my daughter's school?
My daughter's school needs a variance as well, obviously. What's,
If we put this on, hold on. What's your sense of urgency?
There is a sense of urgency.
yeah. We're not gonna be here.
Yeah, yeah.
7 years, that's okay.
We only sit next week. Can't put it- All right. So, no, go
Mr.
ahead.
You gave us this application number, 2016-766.
I believe that's correct.
And that plan is what you would like the board to approve? No changes, correct?
That's correct.
Okay, so what,
And that's, I have it as February 13, 2020 as a building permit, not 2016.
well, 2016 is the year, that's how they just
Yeah,
indexed
the
it.
number doesn't
Understood.
track.
So what we're going to do, if I may, is confirm with the building department that this could be resurrected? I'm sorry, I'll let Mr. Regano. I'm usurping his.
Is there a
What we're
plan B?
going to do is, we're going to put this on for next week as a control date.
Okay,
In
fair
the
enough.
interim, you're going to have to go to the building department to see if your application is going to trigger any new variances. If it does, then we'll have to have a full-blown hearing. If they determine that is not the case, then,
But I've been down that road. And they
Pardon?
told me- I've been down that road, hence I went to them initially. They said it does not. You could go ahead, I paid the fee to the boarding zone of appeals. I went for the application. I wasn't even aware this was on, because
Last week.
according to as far as I was concerned from the portal, it's been approved. Now,
Well-
I understand I have to come here and
Yeah. She's willing to work with you to figure out how this thing gets put together properly so that we get you through the process, but we do it in the way that we're all doing our jobs
Am I going
right.
back to public assembly, or am I going back to the closing of?
You know what, Christina, do you want to just call
Yeah,
you and you guys
we'll
figure it
control
out?
it.
You could
Because then
sidebar,
you'll
I'll
have all the
stick around.
documents.
Okay, finish.
and we're going to put it on for the 13th.
Okay, yeah, that's good.
We're going to put it on for next week,
Okay.
all right?
There's no one else here on this case, right? Okay, because there's no further notes.
No opposition, no, okay. All right,
So we're adjourning it to the 13th, what time, Mr. McCann?
11 o'clock.
11?
In the
11.
interim, Christina, you guys will figure out how we get the procedural stuff sorted
We're
out.
going to powwow.
You got it. You got it. All right.
Next case is reopening, 6919 near Island Park, Pedro Walter Cariati. Variances, subdivision of lot area, front width from and on-street line to front setback line, front yard average setback, rear yard and lot area occupied, construct dwelling with cantilevered balconies and garage all attached thereto. Rehearing of case number 7816, near South Audubon Boulevard, 380 feet west of New York Avenue. Do you swear or affirm to tell the truth, the whole truth, nothing but the truth, so help you God? Please be seated
Joe,
and state your name and
this
address
is
for
an
the record.
extension of time request.
Edward Cariotti. I'm here to speak on behalf of my father.
Loud as you can.
Edward Cariotti. I'm here to speak on behalf of my father. 1155 129th Street, College Point Boulevard, College Point. 1155 129th Street.
What was the last one?
129th Street.
I know what city.
Oh, College Point.
And is that, you're here to speak in favor of it, or you're speaking for it?
For him and to translate, and if you have any questions.
Okay, and you know that since you're under oath, you have to translate accurately what
Yes.
it says, whether
Yes.
it's what you would say or not.
Yes.
So you're here for us to consider an extension of time?
Yes.
Let's see. This was previously a subdivision. Did you own the property when it was subdivided?
Pedro,
The subdivision, when I bought the lot, I don't know, because I never buy the lot.
You bought one lot?
Yeah, he do the owner, because he sold the lot to me, he do the subdivision for Nassau County. But I don't know, we need the subdivision for Hempstead, town of Hempstead.
When did you buy the lot?
I think 17?
2017?
Yeah, I think it is.
Is there anything on the lot?
Yeah.
A building, is there structure?
grass.
No, currently no.
He's the applicant, back in 19. No. Grass. Looked like grass to me.
So it looks like in 2019, a case came before this board. Looks like it was your father, at least it was in his name, requesting subdivision of the lot area, front width, et cetera, and the construction of a 3-story dwelling. Right?
Right, yeah.
And, hold on. And none of that is started, right? What is his extension time?
When we start?
Did you start?
Yes.
You did?
Yes.
Pictures?
It was, yes, I send the pictures. What is you have now?
Here, it's right here. Here's the request.
No problem.
Did you take the photographs?
Yeah, I send the picture.
Did you take those photographs?
Yeah, he took the pictures.
Okay, and do they show what the property looks like today, or a month ago, or when?
Yeah, like today.
Today?
Yes.
Okay.
It has only the pile.
We're trying to take those into evidence. All right, we're gonna accept those into evidence.
Look at it, it says there's no permit.
Oh, he said he sent in the,
I send it. Yeah, he took to the.
Sir, have you picked up the permit yet?
yes.
Okay, because as we thought, this says it's an extension.
An extension of time.
Yeah, but there's different ones. There's an extension to pick up the permit, there's an extension to start, there's an extension to finish. So you've picked up the, right.
When did
I
you
don't know
get
what
it?
a sheet is.
When did you get the permit? Do you know?
The permit,
You know the sheet that says,
It's gonna get lost.
It's okay.
This is,
all right, are you giving these to us, or do you need these? Can we keep these?
yeah, but what does this
or-
say? Does the subject premise have a permit?
Pull the file.
Being considered, it said no.
I don't know if these are his only copies.
It is?
All right.
Take a photo, if you want to hand these in.
Yeah, well, the thing is that when we accept documents and evidence, if we look at them, we have to accept them, and if we accept them, we have to give them back. So we'll have to figure out, and we need to mark.
Here's the pictures.
Hold on. Okay, one thing at a time. So you picked up the permit, right?
Yes. The reason for the delay is hardship coming out of COVID years.
Right.
And now the inflation of the economy. So I guess building materials are much more expensive today. How do you expect to overcome that? They're not going to get much cheaper. Maybe
Hold on.
they will, but I don't see it.
So you picked up your permit in October of 2021, it appears. You took these photos a year? Yesterday?
no, like 2 weeks ago.
Okay?
Okay.
It's elevated.
When do you expect to commence construction? Within three months?
It's a FEMA 3-story.
Start.
Wait a minute.
No, they don't.
Well, what's holding you up? Did you get a stop work order?
The building permit that the gentleman just handed in said construction shall be commenced within 3 months and completed within a year from the date hereof.
What's the date here?
Tell me I'm blind.
Oh, I am too.
Date issued October 20.
Oh, that's the same date I have.
Same date. So, yeah, so it just expired. It expired October 25th, 2023. So
What business is that in? I'm sorry.
he's obviously in the construction business.
That's what I was gonna ask. Are you in the construction business?
Makes sense. Why did he pay that?
This is what he paid the town? Huh?
It's based on what you expect to spend.
And I take this one, and they told me that they charge wrong, and they give me the money back.
Paid via cash?
We should have to
Trading. Go ahead.
Yeah.
That's all right. You paid 60.
Sorry, Mr. Avertine.
I'm not.
Brevity counts. So he gets a refund November 2nd of this year. Oh, they gave him a refund of this, processing fee, extension of time. That was very generous.
All right, so you take those, he needs
I
these.
shouldn't say that on the record. But that's okay.
All right,
All right. I think we have it.
I think so too. So you
Okay.
really only.
You can sit down. Go back.
Go ahead, Joe. The permit,
Why did they give him his extension fee back?
where did you get the idea that the permit's expired 2 years after it's issued?
Take a look at the notice. Can you come up again? Can you please approach one more time with those documents? Yeah. Yeah. Date issued, all right? Expiration date. That's where I got it from.
Yeah, the building.
All right? Now, and wait a minute, because they refund $128, why did they even refund the extension fee? What,
Let me see.
I mean, so he's got to pay it again, I would think. Why did they do that?
Extension.
A recommendation. Joe, grant them 6 months, period. All right? Grant them 6. That's it. We're gonna grant it. He's got a refund for he's got to pay the extension fee again. All right, go ahead. 6 months.
All right, Mr. Chairman, I would make a motion as it relates to case 69 of 2019 near Island Park, affecting the property without an address. But it's Pedro Walter Cariotti, that we grant a 6-month extension of time for the permit that was issued, since no one will tell me what it was. Kim?
What? Well, you have to Tell him what he's got to do.
No, Joe won't let me.
Somebody better tell him. Since when?
So
did he-
you're gonna,
All right.
the- you need to start construction, so you're gonna start it within 6 months, you think?
No, I started.
Oh,
You started already?
yeah, we were waiting for the piles to be
Okay.
inserted, and it went from 17,000 for the piles to 48,000, I believe.
Really?
Yes. They said it had to go, it had to go deeper or something like that, so that also halted us for a little while.
You know, that
Second,
that is hold me, you know, because.
all in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed, any extensions?
You have 6 months. Next time, don't let it run out. You gotta request more time before it runs out. That's why you had to come in.
Okay.
You give me time for 6 months?
3.
Is it, no, is it 6 months to begin, or?
Well, oh, did you hear his question?
That one I'm understanding, 6 months I can finish the house.
It depends.
Yes, that's what.
6 months.
6 months to complete construction. He's got nothing.
That's why I was asking, it's not enough
He
time.
needs more time.
I know. Yeah,
Make it
do you,
9
can you
months.
complete the construction in 1 year?
I
That's
tried.
the standard rule,
I
isn't
tried
it?
1 year, I tried to do my best, you know, for the money.
Why did he
Yeah,
ask for 3 months?
okay.
Okay?
No.
All right, Mr. Chairman, I'm going to withdraw that prior motion
Good.
and make a motion as it relates to case 69, 2019, near Island Park, Pedro Walter Cariotti, that we grant Mr. Cariotti a 1-year extension of time.
Within which to complete construction.
To complete construction. Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed, any abstentions?
If you cannot complete construction in 1 year, so it'll be from today until 24, contact the office 2 months ahead of time.
Okay.
So contact the office in 10 months and say, hey, I'm running out of time, I'm running out of money, I hurt my
Gail.
finger, I
Gail.
need more time.
Okay.
And hopefully Mrs. Paradise will still be working with us and not retiring. And you'll ask
It's an
again.
administrative process. But see, I think
All right. We're going to close this case, correct? Unless
Well, I
someone
thought the
else has a
motion closed
comment.
No, I have no comments.
Okay,
Shall I close it then? We already
Close it.
decided it. All right, Mr. Chairman.
Close it.
Hearing me close.
second? All in favor?
Aye.
Any abstentions? We granted it. It's granted, right? Case is over. You can leave now.
Thank you.
Next case, 503 of 2023, Point Lookout, Island Harbor Holdings LLC, variances, lot area occupied, side yards aggregate, rear yard, construct dwelling with garage, demolish existing dwelling and garage, also known as 115 Garden City Avenue. Do you swear or affirm to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
Okay.
Please be seated, state your names and address for the record.
Everybody's opposed. Is everybody in Point Lookout opposed?
Good afternoon. Appearing for the applicant, Howard Avertine, 2116 Merrick Avenue, Merrick.
Greg Varelis, owner of Island Harbor Holdings. I'm the owner of the property.
Joseph Gallinaro, architect, 143 East Park Avenue, Long Beach, New York, suite number 2.
Good afternoon, Mr. Chairman, members of the board. This is the application of Island Harbor Holdings LLC for variances required in order to construct a new single-family home. The premises under application is located on the westerly side of Garden City Avenue, 305 feet south of Beach Street in Point Lookout. It has a street address of 115 Garden City Avenue and is also known as Section 61, Block 20, Lots 42 and 43 on the Nassau County Land and Tax Map. The property has dimensions of 70 feet in width by 60 feet in depth and a total lot area of 4,200 square feet. It is developed with an existing dwelling and detached garage, which the applicant plans to demolish in the event this application is approved. The applicant proposes to construct a new single-family dwelling in accordance with the plans which are before the board. This hearing was originally scheduled for August 9, but was adjourned to October 25 and then adjourned to today. Surrounding residents raised concerns regarding the original plans. As a result, the applicant revised the plans in an effort to address the concerns raised by the neighbors. Significantly, the height variance was eliminated. The rear or westerly deck was eliminated, and the deck on the southerly side of the dwelling is further north of the property line than previously proposed. Also, the mechanical equipment has been relocated from a platform to the roof. The proposed plan is fully FEMA compliant, with the first level accommodating a garage and storage area and 2 levels of living space above. The variances required in connection with the revised plans and as reviewed by the building department are as follows. First, lot coverage, 27.5% is the maximum permitted, 56% is proposed, 43% of that coverage is the dwelling, with 13.2% for the decks. In addition, a rear yard variance is required. 25 feet is the required setback, 9 feet is proposed. With respect to the southerly side yard, 11.5 feet is required, 9 feet is proposed to the deck, 22 feet to the building. Side yard aggregate, 17.5 feet is required, 15 feet is proposed. This type of home is typical for Point Lookout. The lot has 4,200 square feet of lot area and a depth of only 60 feet, hence making the compliance with the rear yard quite difficult, to say the least. I'll list some previous relevant approvals which are substantially similar to what are being sought today. We have, with respect to the rear yard, case number 107 of 2022. That property is on the northwest corner of Beach Street and Lynbrook Avenue, and there's a rear yard of 7.5 feet on a 4,500 square foot lot, which was approved. And also in that case, the lot area occupied approved was 52.1%. Under case number 512 of 2011, the address 110 Inwood Avenue, a 4.7 foot rear yard was approved and a 52.6% lot coverage was granted. Case number 45 of 1994, 95 Glenwood Avenue, 57% lot coverage was approved. Case number 615 of 2016, 107 Lynbrook Avenue, 48.8% lot coverage was approved. Case number 248 of 2019, 124 Inwood Avenue, 42.8% lot coverage approved with a 5-foot rear yard. And lastly, case number 496 of 2023, which is just down the block from the subject premises. That property is 104 Garden City Avenue, 36.8% lot area occupied approved with a 5-foot rear yard.
No, I bet it is. It's a big
The the board will note that in connection with the original plans, there were quite a few letters of objection submitted, and when the revised plans were completed and filed with the board, they were also circulated to all of the neighbors. And I'd just like to note that we received a text message consent from the neighbor to the rear, and that's Mr. Brennan, and I'd just like to submit that for the record. He states that he saw the revised plans and expressed thanks that his concerns were addressed, and he has no problem with the plans.
Mr.
We'll accept that in evidence, and
Yes.
with all due respect, can we get a set of the revised plans? Because the ones we happen to have in the file are dated June 6th.
They were filed by Mr. Gallinaro's office. I even have the return receipt.
What was the date of them?
The date of the revised
I
plans.
would expect they were after August.
I think so too.
Are
They were after the August hearing, right?
6/6, if there's a revised date. The last revision date is 8/11, no, that's not correct.
No.
What's
10/20.
I'm sorry?
10/24.
I'm sorry, I'm looking at the wrong. Yes, 10/24/2023.
Okay, so this date.
You want to show us?
Can I come
No,
up?
no, I have one that has these dates, it's just got the wrong date here. So it says 2 DOB.
Approach, please approach.
Joe, come on
Mr.
up.
Gallinaro, come on up.
10/24 is in there.
Right.
That is correct. 10/24/2023.
I wasn't arguing with you.
No,
You need another set?
no, we have two.
As long as we have it.
I'm happy. Are you happy? There you go.
Okay, keep going, Mr. Abbott.
Thank you. I have some photos showing, I'll just walk the board through a copy for each of the board members. Christine, you need an extra set for yourself? Sure.
Who took the photos?
Thank you.
Who took the photos?
I did, Mr.
When
Regano.
were they taken?
I took them 2 days ago.
And they fairly and accurately depict the set of
Yes, sir,
conditions
they
that
do.
they're intended to. Thank you. We'll accept them in evidence.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
The first photo is of the existing conditions on the subject premises. You see the house and the detached garage. The second photo is the premises to the north. You can see that the distance between the subject premises and the dwelling on that parcel is significant. You have the driveway separating what we hope will be the new house from the existing house. And then the third photo is the premises to the south, and that property, you could see the existing building is right, very, very close to the property line. So that was one of the reasons we shifted things away from that property, just to give the board a sense. There is also one new objection letter that was furnished to me. The owner of 114 Garden City Avenue, which is directly across the street on Garden City from the subject premises. And in reviewing this objection, everything I see in it is objecting to the height, and the height is zoning compliant. The objection refers to a 34-foot high home. It may be 34 feet from grade, but we all know that that height is measured from design flood elevation, and we fully comply with design flood elevation and all town requirements with respect to height. The original application did include a height variance, and as I indicated, that was eliminated. At this time, unless the board has questions of me, I would like to ask Mr. Gallinaro, the project architect, to just walk the board through the plans and address any questions regarding the design and the changes from the original filed
I just
plans.
The bottom of the elevations, TOFF, top of what?
Finished floor.
Finished floor. Okay, I thought it was first floor, but that wouldn't be the top of the first floor.
It's the,
Okay.
basically, it would be the same thing. Finished floor, first floor,
No,
same,
not top of. Top, never mind. Okay, HAG.
highest adjacent grade. That's the highest amount of land that's up against the home.
Okay, and I don't, did you put Crown and Road on here? I know it's not relevant to the height inquiry, but I always like that.
That's a COF.
COR.
COR, sorry.
No Crown and Road, huh?
We don't have that on there.
Okay, keep going then, that's all. I just want to be able to follow along when you
Sure.
testify.
So what we have is, good afternoon, first of all, thank you. The home right now on Garden City, you drive down Garden City and turn into a detached, an attached two-car garage that would be on the ground floor or the first floor. There's a set of stairs that goes up a half level to a landing area at the entry that allows you to go up into the house or down to the garage storage level. At the garage storage level, we also have an elevator. So we have a full height ground floor for access to the elevator and end to the yard. As you travel up to the second floor, there is a living room, a kitchen, a dining room, elevator, powder room, pantry, and butler's pantry, and access to a deck that has a barbecue out on the deck on the south side. We, as Mr. Aberdeen had mentioned, we removed the deck on the west side, which primarily had the barbecue adjacent to the kitchen. For convenience sake for the resident, it was a small, about a 6-foot deep deck that just had a barbecue and a catwalk that connected the decks on the outside. Directly from the kitchen made it very convenient. Mr. Varellas here had agreed to take that deck out at the request of the neighbor. And in doing so, we've now moved the barbecue to the south deck. As you travel up further in the home, there's 4 bedrooms with 4 bathrooms and a laundry room, some storage. Again, the elevator exit there as well. Elevator is on every floor. Finally, you exit the house on the south side to an exterior staircase that leads up to the rooftop deck. On the rooftop deck, as mentioned previously, there's the condensers for the air conditioning units. So unlike many other houses, this house does not have that big platform on the side of the house or the rear of the house where these condensers are a story above the ground and humming away into people's windows, the neighbors' windows. So as another concession, the air conditioning units went to the roof, which is hugely beneficial to the neighbors. And that's the full walkthrough of the home.
Could you address, Mr. Gallinaro, the height to the railing on the roof and the height to the roof deck, please?
Sure, certainly. So the height of the house is measured to the railing of the flat roof, and that is the 30 feet above base flood elevation, which is the maximum. I'm sorry, design flood, thank you, yes. Above design flood elevation. The platform that you're actually standing on is about 27 feet above design flood elevation, which leaves us at least 3 feet for a railing for safety precautions. That's correct. $1.4 1/4, and that's a finished dimension with sheetrock, plywood, finished floor. 9/6. If you go to page the cover sheet, there's the section that gives all the dimensions that it does the math for us. it's 9.5. 9.5, yes. Again, for our convenience on the cover sheet, we have those dimensions listed for us, which shows the 1'4" and of finished, that package of finished floor to finished ceiling.
Again, I think the number that is likely concerning you is the overall, but as we know, the flood zone requirements and the FEMA requirements necessitate raised decks instead of flat. Well, I understand what you're saying, but that's why I mentioned the approval of case 107 of 2022 at the northwest corner of Beach Street in Lynbrook. That's a 4,500 square foot lot. It was a subdivision, actually. There was to maintain an existing house on a lesser lot and to construct on a 4,500 square foot lot. Lot area occupied there was 52.1%, a 7.5 foot rear yard, roof deck, similar situation, quite similar. And I'll say this, that house really does fit in nicely there, and it's a very attractive home, and I don't think anyone in the community had a problem with it. No, I have several that I mentioned. They'll be on the transcript, yes.
So they weren't on any of the sheets you handed in, or they were?
No, they were not.
How
They
many
were
of
not.
them were within a 200-foot radius?
I don't know if any of them were within 200-foot radius. I don't believe 104 Garden City Avenue is within 200 feet, but it is on the same block. It's really the character of Point Lookout that we believe drives the nature of the applications that this board sees. And quite frequently, when you look at the typical lot size that comes before the board in Point Lookout, sometimes 35 by 60, sometimes 70 by 60, one lot versus two lots. There's always a lot area deficiency, and when you couple the lot area deficiency with the need to comply with FEMA, you necessarily create this need. And we've seen it, like as I indicated many, many other times on Lynbrook Avenue, on Inwood Avenue, and the various other approvals that I referenced as part of my presentation.
I know, and then the next time you come in next week, you'll ask for, well, you granted a 56.2% lot area occupied here. It blew up from the last time. It's snowballing.
Well, one can say that,
Well,
and I can tell you scolded me and not to come in with anything greater, but what I will say, going back to 1994, on 95 Glenwood, as I indicated, that house was approved at 57% lot coverage. And we have houses approaching 50, we have houses in the 50s as far as lot coverage. So this is not something that's unique this lot coverage request or that we're asking for.
Go ahead. No,
So, Mr. Abertine, I don't think FEMA requirements plus small lots necessarily has to yield this, you know, because this, like I say, this is not like taking that, like, the same lot coverage and FEMA compliance could be much less intensive or, for lack of, I'll just say intensive a use. FEMA's just dealing with how high you gotta start it, and obviously and you're complying with the height. But to use it, like every possible inch of the height is used in a box style versus this. You could put a FEMA compliant house here at the same height and not be nearly so intensive. Now, I'm not saying I'm not criticizing over it. I'm just saying, you know, when I look at it, it's just the package deal is so intensive. Is the only reason I asked that. But I mean,
No, I understand that, Mrs. D'Amato, and all I, would say is that, with all due respect, it's not substantially different from many of the precedents and other approvals that I've mentioned, and that's why I mentioned them, just so that I could raise the board's comfort level that it conforms with what the board has approved in Point Lookout.
I understand. Thank you.
Mr. Pellegrini, you look like you have a question for me.
I do. I don't really know how to phrase it. There could be some type of a mathematical equation, lot area versus the lot size, lot area occupied versus lot size. This is it's just bigger and bigger and bigger, and
I understand your question.
It'd be nicer if it were to be volunteered on your side to reduce the lot area occupied rather than us redesigning your house, possibly.
Let me confer for a moment, if I may.
Put them on it. So side yard, you're proposing 6 instead of, what's your requirement?
The side yard, yes, one is, I believe it's the southerly side, excuse me.
Right.
The northerly side yard's compliant. The southerly side yard, 11.5 is required with 9 proposed next to the deck. It's 22 feet to the building.
Wait. the southerly,
It's on the westerly side.
it just doesn't look, wait, the rear yard is 9. Okay, this is,
Correct.
right, on the south, what is the side yard on the south?
The south is,
Oh, there's the other 9.
it's 9
11
feet to the deck and 22 feet to the building.
Yeah, there was another 9, so it was for the rear yard, that's why I was.
Right, right. And then the aggregate,
It's confusing. 2 nines. It's difficult to comprehend.
the side yard aggregate 17.5 required, 15 proposed.
That's 17.45 feet versus 15, is that correct?
Yes,
Got it.
I rounded to 17.5.
Why is it? Mr. Avertine, you do or you do not need a side yard?
Excuse me?
He does. No, wait. Go through the numbers on the side yard, please.
Certainly.
Oh, on
That's,
that
that's 9 versus 11, correct?
It is,
Not
It's
11 and a
9
half.
feet to the
it's
deck.
9 feet to 11 and a half.
11 and a half.
Yeah, no, it's on the other.
To the
spot.
deck.
I was looking at the other one. So you, because of the width, that's why you need the other numbers, right?
Correct.
All right.
Any other questions from the board?
Move the hearing be closed, the matter be placed on the decision calendar. Mr. Avertine, you and your client, Mr. Gallinaro, will all receive a copy of the board's decision by mail once it's read.
Thank you very
Second.
much.
All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed, any abstentions? I believe that concludes the morning calendar. What time is it? We're getting lunch? Okay. So we'll start doing decisions. Be a nice idea.
Good, how about yourself? Good to see you. So
There's
you're
4.
still assisting? Is that,
All right.
gotcha.
All right. Decisions.
Where are you gonna
Mr. Pellegrini, Mrs. Adams, decisions. Can we? 7:35 of 2023, Joshua Hata, H-A-T-A, Tanzer. It's 2854 Frankel Boulevard in Merritt. Do I have any discussion from the board members? If not, do I have a motion?
I move case 735 of 23 in Merrick, Joshua Hatter Tanzer at 2854 Frankel Boulevard be approved as requested.
Second,
Second.
all in favor?
Aye.
Opposed, any abstentions? Next case, 736 of 2023, Merritt, Kerry Crimmins, 1308 Taft Avenue. Would one of the board members like to inspect that case?
Yes, I'll volunteer for that.
Okay, thank you, Mr. Pellegrini. Next case, 737 of 2023, Mahesh Persaud, 932 Donald Place, near Valley Stream. Do I have any discussion from the board members or any questions? If not, do I have a motion?
Mr. Chairman, I'll move that case 737 of 2023, affecting the property at 932 Donald Place, near Valley Stream, be approved as requested. I don't think there's a need to make it temporary because it doesn't really impact sightlines at all.
But the pool condition.
Second, pool conditions.
Okay, I
Second.
assume they're on the pool, but this is just the fence.
I don't know.
All right,
That was probably,
I agree with you.
Cases
Second,
738 and
third,
739 of
fifth.
2023, North Belmore, Camille Shilara, 2869 Beltar Avenue in North Belmore. Do I have any discussion or questions from the board? If not, do I have a motion?
That's exterior stairs. Are we comfortable with that? exterior stairs that go up to the second-story deck.
Yeah, I was.
Yeah, it didn't
You
bother
were
me.
comfortable or
I was,
uncomfortable?
because it was just like one of our main, it wasn't like a two-family concern.
Yeah.
I didn't,
She's
It's a
selling the
beautiful
house.
home, yeah.
What do you think, Mrs. Perry?
It didn't bother me either.
wasn't she the lady that was really?
I don't know.
Mrs.
It
Adams,
just-
did it
it's
bother
just-
you?
And I think that stuff's been there for quite a, oh yeah, she
Yeah.
purchased it in 1977.
It is.
It was built in 1913, and they've been there forever.
Yes.
Because they're selling it.
Yeah, but.
I know, but I think
Okay.
it's one of
It's a
our
good-
main ingress.
I
egress
move that
routes.
case number 738, 739 be granted as requested.
Second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed, any
This is
abstentions?
the only one after changes.
Next case, West Hempstead, case 740 of 2023, David and Pauline Montegari. Do I have any discussion or questions from any board member? If not, do I have a motion?
I move case 740, 2023, location 514 Harding Avenue in West Hempstead, be granted as requested.
Second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed,
I was
any
absent for
abstentions?
that case.
Case 741 of 2023, East Meadow,
It's
Carlos
exempt.
Cunha.
No vote.
On that case, I would like to hold, because I want to understand a little better. She applied, there's a bathroom in the basement, right?
A two-piece, yeah, she said two-piece.
Yeah, that's not before us. But she was sort of the understanding that this goes to that issue that we come across from time to time as to the nexus of what we're approving and how it relates to other stuff that we may or may, like, we're sort of ancillary approving without knowing it. She was under the understanding that our addressing the cellar entrance was somehow related to, at least, her getting approved for the bathroom that's down there. And while that bathroom doesn't overly concern me, I would like to have a better understanding. I mean, I guess you guys can go ahead with this case, and I'll just go to the building department to get a better understanding of.
So you want us to hold it for what purpose?
I said I
To
guess
get
you
a
guys
better
can approve.
understanding?
Well, if I may,
Go ahead.
the building department allows multiple structures and uses on one singular application. This cellar exterior basement is linked with the interior finish of the basement.
I'm of the opinion that.
So theoretically,
They're mutually exclusive, but the building department ties them in a sense.
I just think we need to
so
understand.
let me ask you a question. I mean, can we insert a condition that says if they change the two-piece bath to a three-piece bath, they have to pull out this cellar entrance?
I would think
Of course
not.
we could.
No.
Can't.
It's not,
I
the
think we could.
bathroom is not before the board, it's just the
That's all the
entrance.
reason why I want to understand, because I think we have this issue arise from time to time about what the nexus is. And then on the flip side of it, someone's like, well, you can't, just what you said, you
All right,
can't
so-
do that to the
so
cellar entrance.
To make a
The
long
house is
story
sold.
short, we'll hold it for a nexus determination.
Well, the house is sold, and
Make
there
a
was
note
money
of
there.
that, hold for nexus.
I'm such a jerk today.
Case 742, I just don't want to beat a dead horse for 7 hours. 742 of 2023, Seaford, Linda Telford.
I'll get it, the information from my end.
Property located at 2180 Seaford Avenue. Do I have any questions or discussion from
I
the
would
board
like to
members?
hold this and talk to you about it.
Determination. Okay, hold. Discussion. Bigger picture. 743 to 746 of 2023, Point Lookout, John Gray, 128 Inwood Avenue. Do I have any discussion? If not, do I have a motion?
I move case 743 to 746 of 23 Point Lookout John Gray located at 128 Inwood Avenue be approved as requested.
Second.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed, any abstentions? Case 747 of 23
Hey,
Woodmere.
on that last one, should we make that 6 foot? Yeah.
Yep, the fence temporary
The
5 years?
6'6",
Yes.
I think, yeah.
And the shower shall not be enclosed. No.
Why not? Why shouldn't you say that?
Because. what are you
It's an
gonna do,
outdoor shower.
out in the open?
Shower in the nude. Well, I-
Remember my clients? Remember the living fence?
Yes.
Remember that case?
I do.
Right.
O'Brien was on that one,
I
right?
wasn't here.
So we'll make the fence temporary 5 years. Yeah.
Okay. Do we we vote on it?
Yes.
Second? Approved? Everybody was cool? All right, 747 of 2023, Woodmere, David and China Roll, 856 Crestview Avenue. Do I have any discussion? If not, do I have a motion?
Move that case 747 of 2023, affecting the property at 856 Crestview Avenue, be granted as requested.
Second.
Second?
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed, any abstentions? 748 of 2023, Merrick, Diane and Gary Seaman. Property located at 19 Cortelyou Road in Merrick. They had some open permits on that one, too. Any questions from the board? If not, do I have a motion?
I move that case 748, 2023, Diane and Gary Seaman at 19 Cortelyou Road in Merrick be granted with the conditions that they close out all open permits.
Second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed, any abstention? 749 of 2023, West Hempstead, Donato Barco.
I'm gonna look at that.
588 David.
For the shed.
Yeah, somebody should inspect that for
I'll
the
look at
shed.
that.
That's KP, huh? KP, wow. Never thought about that.
Shed and whatever else is
750,
back.
yeah, whatever other structures are back there. That was a Zavaldi special, I think, right? 750 of 2023, Wantor. I can't even think about how to pronounce that, so I'll go to my pronunciation specialist. Couture, would you like to say the name? You can
Mikhailo
castrate
Naseret.
that.
Nasser, yeah.
Right, I move that
Close.
that be
No
granted.
Cupid.
I move case 750 of 2023, located at 2895 Anderson Street in Montauk, be granted as requested.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? And we should grant that just based upon the fact that you can't say the name of the applicant. But Case 751 of 2023, Woodmere, Offer Yitzhak, I believe it's Yitzhak, 50 Center Street in Woodmere. This was one with the tenant complaint
I'd like to
and the
hold
stop
that
work
Yeah.
order,
and go over
dwelling A and
deck
dwelling D.
non-conforming.
Bowman Ventura. Case 752 of 23 East Meadow, Epic, Long Island. 1500 Hempstead Turnpike. Do I have any discussion? If not, do I have a motion?
I'll move the case 752 of 2023. Sorry. That's a design for all these things. Affecting the property at 1500 Hempstead Turnpike in East Meadow, Epic, Long Island. Be approved as requested, usual sign conditions.
Temporary 5 years?
Yeah.
Yeah.
There's sign conditions that are applicable to reader boards. They don't change every 3 minutes or something like to that
Well, they
effect.
wanted 30 seconds, and then I kind of try to push a minute, and they
Have complied with the
got
written
to.
ones.
Well, I
So what are we gonna do, a minute?
I was.
No, we're gonna, what are the usual reader board sign conditions?
Aren't they stable? They don't change.
They do change, reader boards, the
Yeah.
conditions?
They wanted 30 seconds, but you weren't comfortable with the 30 seconds. You wanted them to do it a minute.
You know
Mr.
what's
Chairman
the-
said just to do the usual.
Okay.
Whatever the normal reader board conditions are, if it's a minute, 3 minutes, that's what they do.
Got it.
There's no
I-
reason to make an exception in this or any other case,
Understood.
all right?
So I'm a second.
Talk to me about the U.S. Constitution, I'll tell you my theory
You wanna
of
do that?
construction.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed, any abstentions? 753 of 2023, Ileana Carrillo, that's 164 Harrison Avenue.
We got some issues.
That's
It's
adjourned
adjourned, but I'm gonna look at it.
12/13 at 11 a.m.
I'm gonna look at it anyway.
Wait, so what?
Okay, good.
This is the famous fireplace
Yes.
case. I'm going to look at this one too,
I'm
although
gonna throw
I'm
you
sure
on a
not.
skewer and throw you over.
What's that bell?
I guess that's
What's that bell?
not a good sign.
For what?
Wow.
We're having that many people in this afternoon that we have to...
Yeah, what's going on?
What is it
Which
really?
case?
It's just a costume.
I'm guessing it's going to
It's like
be
what?
the age change ambulance,
What was that?
You really found
That's
it
the-
outside?
the triangular piece of property.
Oh my God.
And you're not embarrassed to wear that?
That's funny. He's making it as a joke, yeah.
All right, so we got
All right, let's keep going. 722 East Meadow.
722 of 23.
You deserve
East
the work
Meadow,
here.
That's Muniz and Bellotta. That's at 400 Warwick Road, two front doors on
Two
that
front
one,
doors.
and the 8x8 storage. Any discussion?
I would definitely make this that a storage room only, no walls knocked down, and keep it that way if we're going to grant two doors.
Want to do a grant? Draft a grant.
Draft?
Yep.
It's a lot of work to have that there, because all they'll do is if they want to put a door inside, it's an interior alteration.
Yes.
Yeah.
It's making a lot of work for Christina for no benefit, really.
Okay, so no grant.
You could bring
Wanna
us
make
the
a
draft
motion?
in January, it's okay.
Make us a motion. Yeah, no
Yeah,
harm,
she's
no
good.
foul.
Yeah, exactly. So,
Or the alternative is pull out the second door.
It's a storage.
so you want to have them close
Wait,
it up
hold
completely?
on. Hold on. You don't like that second door?
No.
I don't
They have no
Because that's
garage.
really good.
How are they gonna put their exterior
Well,
stuff?
how are they gonna get into the storage? Put one on the side?
Break through the
Why
wall.
is there storage there?
Do they have a garage?
No,
Yeah.
it's a small area.
Right. So they probably took, is that where the garage was? They probably
but
made the
why
back
do
of
you
the
have
garage
storage from the
living and cut the
outside?
front.
They're
the
not
front.
they're not
It's
putting
like
their
pool
lawnmower.
equipment
Oh,
and
come
stuff.
on.
That's what she said,
in the
pool
front,
equipment
too.
and.
In the front?
But if it was, because people, I know, people, they convert their garage and then they leave the garage door.
They did.
With a little bit of space, just to show that it looks like a garage, but it's just storage.
Exactly.
They basically did this, except they
Put a door.
put a regular people door into their garage door.
Back that up 100%.
I would not make people, in this economy, we just not make people take out,
It's
Yeah,
easy.
but the whole thing is, why, it looks like an apartment.
Yes.
And why didn't they put the storage in the back of the garage? If you want to keep part of the garage for storage, take the back part of the garage and come in from the back.
personally, I would put it in the front too, because I wouldn't want the car to pull in my driveway and make a mistake and hit my bedroom. But that's, I don't know.
I can do another condition, if you would like, I'll do a draft.
Do a draft. Do a draft,
Well,
please.
For,
To wait.
What do you want to say in the graph, in the draft?
Eliminate the front door, that second front door.
Really?
There should be one front door.
I think that's a lot to add. There is only one front door to get in, but I just think that's a big
Eliminate the door
expense
in
to
the
do
front,
this
the
so.
second door in the front. As opposed to a front door.
Want to make a motion?
How are they gonna,
What?
the whole point of that storage area is for exterior access. It's not like, you know what I'm saying, like,
there's no interior access.
right, and that is for outdoors, stuff that you'd store outdoors.
They're gonna bring the crap around from the backyard and bring it around the front and put it in the front. They could put a shed in the backyard. It's a potential apartment. That's really what it looks like.
It's not a potential apartment. All right, whatever, okay.
Make a motion, somebody, please.
I move that we grant the case eliminating the front door sending, going into the, storage area.
Second,
Second.
all in favor?
Aye.
Abstain.
Aye. Is that an aye? No. No, it's approved. Condition upon the removal of the second front door. All right, 706, 707 to 23 West Hempstead Chameleon Event Space. That's on for the 13th at 11 o'clock. 69 and 19, that's an oldie. Pedro and Walter.
John, on that chameleon one, we set that trigger date. Now, if he works with Christina and they discover that it's easily put all together and.
We'll hear it. We
That's
don't,
right.
we don't have to
I know,
re-advertise.
I just had a question.
Okay.
Then if we do, I take it we would need to let him know right away in case he wants to, for example,
Bring in a
the
parking,
expert.
yeah.
Okay. Just wanna make sure we're on the same
I should have an
page.
update for you next week. We spoke to him and.
But it's for next week, so you're gonna have to let him know in advance. If he finds out he needs it, if he thinks he needs a parking expert and he wants to bring him to the hearing, that all has to happen within a week. You know what I'm saying? So you guys, you have to have that, that's the only reason I wanna clarify, so that you can work that out.
It's probably gonna take months for them to get him, get them.
Yeah, but I'm just saying, in which case do we want him to come? Let's say he needs more time. Will we just adjourn it come in or do it administratively?
Do it administrative.
Okay, that would be my vote too.
Okay, so unless it's ready to go forward, no appearance on the 13th of the, correct?
Right.
Case 69 of 19, Pedro Walter Cariotti. That was approved from the bench. We gave him,
Delivered to the BZA office like usual.
we did. We gave him time to put the foot in, put the, all right. Point lookout. Gave him a year, right? You gave him a year.
I'd like to hold the
Complete
point lookout
construction.
case and talk, because I'd
Okay,
like,
hold the point lookout case.
I think there's things we need to
The
figure out.
senior board member wants to hold the point lookout case, so we're gonna hold it.
I think,
Anything on the reserve calendar?
Yes.
Shoot the works.
Okay. All right, so, sorry. Okay, so I did email a draft, I think I found on the Aslan,
Azar.
541.
Yeah, so.
Oh, yeah, that's the two-step down house.
Yes.
Yep.
So they did give us the new plans, I drafted the decision, I did incorporate the grant from 2009, but modified the conditions.
You done good. No, you did.
I had a lot of decisions.
Wait, portion of the application requesting a modification prohibiting two for less. No, I don't think I don't think the prior one prohibited, didn't it grant?
It permitted only one bathroom on the top floor.
Right, but the,
Yeah, here,
do you know what I'm saying? I think the thing we want to modify was the prior condition stating there could be two there, not prior condition prohibited.
So, yeah, so condition 4.
645 of 2023 through cases 646 of 2023. I move that, affecting the property at 47 Dickinson Street in Inwood, I move that the cases be granted as requested based on the new plans requiring a 5-foot side yard, and that we add administratively the rear yard relief that is dictated by the plans as shown at the hearing and on file prior to the hearing.
Second.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Any
Yes, Gail, thank you.
abstentions? Nice change of heart there. Next.
I do not believe we have an update on, the next case, 674 to 676. Same thing for 684. The next one we just went over, I will make that change during our break.
You gotta eat.
What about 693, 94, 95? They withdrew the seller entrance.
Well, the seller entrance, I think, is the problem. I believe they withdrew 694.
Which was?
That was, no, the, maintain a 4-foot high fence located within the clear site triangle.
Do we want to make a motion or do we want to table it?
Table it, because I'm not sure. I don't know, I have to look at it and remember what it is. 'cause
Okay.
699, 700, Franklin Square,
Oh.
Manhattan,
We have an update. The building department went out.
which, this one?
Yes.
The 2 meters.
This was the issue with the 2 meters. So the building department went out and everything was okay. They think that maybe back sometime there was an illegal mother-daughter apartment. Now it's up to code, compliance, 1 kitchen.
Let me ask you a question. What would the cost be? Take out the second.
At one point, I thought Dave said a couple years ago that it was 1,500, but I don't know why that's the number that I thought he
My
said.
recollection is he's not here.
You just asked the cost, okay? I just referenced where I.
So
I agree with that. Granted with conditions.
Somebody make a motion.
I move that case number 692 to 694. 694 is withdrawn. The remainder of the cases be granted with conditions that the second electric, no, I'm sorry, wrong one.
699 to 700.
699, 700, thank you. Granted with the condition that the second electric meter be removed.
And you need to give a time frame. There should be a time frame, otherwise, like within 6 months?
6 months?
I'd say, well, it's winter.
It's removing. It's easy. It's not without
Okay.
renting the time. 708, North Belmore, GP.
I did.
And
I'm hungry.
It's a renewal, it does block the owner's driveway, the owner backed his Jeep into the driveway, twice inspected, so it's exactly what we granted many years ago.
Want to make a motion?
I move that we renew the grant, on case 708, Castro's at 899 East Meadow Avenue with the same conditions. 5 years.
Got it? Second. All in favor? Aye. Opposed and abstentions? You're up again.
Yes, I am.
710 of 23 Uniondale, Mahesh Graham.
Mr. Moran has got a sloppy next-door neighbor. He's at 751 Davis Avenue. And that's what the building department is to do what they have to do in that.
Doesn't he have someone, was it a disabled child or a wife or someone who needs to be outside?
Yeah. So I would move that this case,
What's that? Give us 5 more minutes,
is it open
because it's
public
probably the
hearing?
press.
They should be allowed in?
No, we can close,
No, you can't.
we can close the,
That they be allowed to install the fences for a period of 5 years as requested.
Second. Aye.
That's conditions?
Yes.
yeah, make sure that 4 foot says, on the condition that it stays.
It's a shit area.
case 734 of 2023, affecting the property from 560 to 570 Peninsula Boulevard near Cedarhurst, that the board adopt a negative declaration as to the secret determination.
Second that?
Aye. I further, Mr. Chairman, move that, as it relates to that case, the board grant the requested relief with any relevant conditions.
Aye.
Waiting for updated plans.